Let's... Rannock. Let's finish up Rannock. Yes, Tree Whisper, I will do what must be done.
Man, watching the Geth fleet move, it's like thousands of stun flyers in formation. Creepy stun flyers, whose ships look like some sort of cockroach wasp thing. So you went into the Geth consensus? Like virtual reality?
Yeah, it was strange, but I got out all right.
Did you? I mean, how would you know?
How would I know what?
If you really got out. See, if the Geth experience everything virtually, then you could only think you're in the real world. What if this, like everything you're seeing now, is a simulation?
Was it Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 that had the dude shrieking in town about how we're all just characters in a video game?
Yes, Shepard?
Still nothing here.
Carry on, Edie.
Understood. If you wish to talk more...
Noted.
I know it's a BioWare game, and I thought it was one of their older ones.
Commander, Admiral Anderson is available in the war room on VidCom.
Yeah, that's nice. It might have been DAO. I don't know. I guess we're ready? Yeah, okay. Let's do it. I mean, we just saved in case it's the wrong thing. I mean, there's a lot of people I could bring to this, but no, we're bringing Garrus. There's no choice. Choice is an illusion. Yes, that is what we call the fourth wall breaking. Now, the real question is, can you tell me why they call it the fourth wall? That's... Okay, Sotoshi, that must be why. Because you notice I've now talked to her 3 times and gotten the same dialogue options, which is why I keep being like, well, nothing new there. You can't accuse me of not trying. I mean, you can, you'd just be wrong.
The sinking laser needs a line of sight. What's the fastest route?
The upper entrance. Target the base before the Geth can organize resistance.
What about you?
We will deactivate defense systems and acquire an escape vehicle.
You can do that?
This unit still carries remnants of the old machine upgrade code. We can break any Geth security. You are concerned.
Yeah, but whatever.
You know your limits. I trust you. I'm more concerned you didn't tell me about the upgrades.
You were tolerant of our recovery of Geth intelligences from the server, but this matter is different. Personal.
You were ashamed.
Shame is an emotional or cognitive response to societal judgment. It should not apply here.
I'm on your side here, Legion. I want to help your people.
We did not intend to cause offense.
How'd we get here? The Geth are better than this.
No. Based on empirical evidence, they are not.
Yeah.
That's a weird conversation, but whatever.
Proceed to the upper entrance. We will exit here and procure an escape vehicle.
Got it. Legion, good luck.
Acknowledged.
Oh god, you might be right, Django. What do I have equipped? What do I have equipped? Okay. Would you quit it with the lens flares?
I don't think it's really sunk in yet. The home world. My world.
Tully, this place was lost generations before you were born.
The sky. And the rock formations. They used to write poems about them.
I'm sorry. I like the Rannock section, I do, but between the lens flare and the dialogue, which really needs some issues. Like, and the fact that Tully's literally already been here. And then you add on to that the whole, oh, this is my home, even though I've never been there kind of a thing. Like, I don't get any of this, honestly. I really don't. So, screw you, Tully. We're choosing the Geth so that you commit suicide.
When we're done, maybe you'll write a new one.
This is Rannock, the world of our ancestors. Our bodies carried the seeds that spread the desert grass. You've heard me say Kilasalai? The best translation I can come up with is, by the homeworld I hope to see someday.
Looks like you're seeing it today.
The living room window will be right here.
Something I should know?
I just claimed the land. I know it doesn't mean much, but when this is over, I'll have a home.
The Quarians spent centuries as nomads. You think you can go back to living in one place?
We have gotten used to carrying our homes around with us. Well, that's a start.
Okay, that is sweet. I'll give you that, game. I was about to agree with Space Cadet. This whole Rannock sequence has just generally not been nearly as polished as the Tachanka thing, or as good as I remembered. But at least there's still some good moments like the one we just saw. Yep, I have a pistol? I don't even know what pistol this is. Whatever. Hang on. Well, which one am I having today? Be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself.
The Geth jamming towers are interfering with your signal, Commander. I'm compensating to keep you patched in.
Good work, Trainer.
Yeah, the fortune tea. I never remember this flavor because it's a blend. So that's the one I'm having this morning. I don't usually look before I grab a tea bag. On purpose. Thank you, Dream Whisperer. Always appreciate. Let's get rid of that lens flare. There we go. And we will jot that down for lower decks. You know what? I'm curious of something. Can you give me one moment, please? Very well. Can you give me infinite moments, please? I mean, that's tough because I'm taking the infinite moments, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. This really shouldn't take long, but you know how often I say that and it ends up being wrong, so just enjoy the Mass Effect news. Ironically, I'm not sure if I like or dislike lens flares, because they give me headaches. So, I usually don't try not to comment on lens flares. It's just when I see them all the time, it starts to get to me, you know? Hello, Sakage. I'll have some tea while this loads. Like the fact that Legion just has a mobile lens flare. We're on Rannock, although I'm not sure when this is going to load when we get back into it. I have both played and beaten Mass Effect 2 on Insanity Peak. This is taking a minute. I do apologize. I told you this would take longer than I thought. It always does every time I say it won't take a minute. Was it difficult? Yes. Properly difficult for the most part, though. 50%. I am now out of tea. I guess I could clean up the question queue a little bit. What do we got here? We're only up to 10 pages. Let's see. Oh, wow, Croatia. That's impressive. I actually answered a bunch of these. Oh, I never answered this one, except I don't think the crow is here. I don't know, I want to answer that one here. Oh yeah, Narset asked a question I don't remember. Does anyone remember what we played through Pathfinder Kingmaker as? I feel like it was a mage type, but don't quote me on that. I suppose I can just pull it up here really quick. Lore Runner, Pathfinder. Random part here. Mute myself. Mute myself. Okay, we're good. Oh yeah, I've got spells. I got all kinds of spells. So, some kind of caster. I'm not sure what kind. %. Oh, Baron actually asked a good question, which unfortunately Baron isn't here, so I don't want to answer that. Trihexia asked, why do Turians dislike biotics in the military? I have no idea. Legitimate. Oh, it's installed. It's installed. Okay. Exit. Exit. See if it works. I'm not going to try again if it doesn't work. We're just going to go with it. Hopefully everything is working according to plan. So if it isn't, tough. Hang on. No, it's kind of working, but not really. Still a lens flare there. It's just not as pronounced. Oh well. Yeah, I remember Caden's instructor. Still can't think of his damn name. He's actually in my party now. I still can't think of his damn name.
With your signal, Commander. I'm compensating to keep you patched in.
Good work, Trainer.
This is why I'm not super chuffed about having my gun replaced. Because I'm an engineer.
Shepard, Commander, you must climb to the upper level before Geth units can fortify their positions.
We're on our way.
Admiral Garrus here. The heavy fleet has a clear path. All forward.
Geth fighter presence is negligible.
I honestly wasn't even going to, and I was just going to give it the positives for the guns. Because I know these guns. I've played multiplayer. There's a pretty good variety of them. But that is a fair point. I'll make an effort. With Garrus, it's not like I need to be participating in combat anyways. Who knows, when we get to Grounded, I might actually be able to start getting through the question queue, you know. You can always add questions to the queue. I mean, it was okay, Dream Whisperer. I'm pretty sure it was a net positive. It had some very fun levels, and an actually interesting final boss. Like, probably the most fun encounter so far in the entire game. Excuse me. The story was there. And also bad. Yeah, like, the story was just kind of, huh? What are you... Okay. Well, I tend to
We need to get inside before they send reinforcements.
dislike the very idea of deciding what they are based on real-life things. So I'm just going to pass on that question, Latario. Also, I wouldn't touch that question with a 10-foot pole.
They're closing a blast shield over the base.
Yeah, this is the multiplayer map. Oh, okay, no, this isn't the multiplayer map. But there's a multiplayer map in a place that looks like this.
We don't have that kind of time.
That's one of the ones I remember fondly. One I was trying to remember a couple days ago.
More Geth dropping in.
No, not Novaria. Novaria is the snow level. Well, one of the snow levels. It's actually my favorite level. I've got it, plutonium. So, I've got these aliens, right? But they've decided to take a religious symbol converted into a symbol of their fascist regime. And they're trying to take over the world through ethnic cleansing. I mean, galaxy. Trying to take over the galaxy. Sorry.
Shepard Commander, do you need assistance?
We'll get through.
Nope.
What's your status?
The old machine's upgrades grant us targeting superiority. We are drawing hostile fire from your position.
Keep it up. We'll get to the blast shield controls.
Admiral Garrus to all ships. We've got Geth frigates inbound on the civilian fleet.
Garrus here. Civilian defenders are on intercept course. We'll help them, Garrus.
Legion, I've hit the override.
We have gained system access and are bypassing security. Stand by.
So what you're saying, Gum Gum, is I have no idea what you're saying. Too stupid to understand this saying. I mean, it's kind of inevitable, and I don't mind it, really. Not really. We can only write something that we can comprehend and all that. That being said, I do think it's a bit of a gradient. You know, sometimes it's just copy-paste real-life allegory for it dumped into a fictional race. And sometimes it might be inspired by or built based upon, but otherwise has some mixes of stuff. So it's not a one-to-one copy-paste.
We have bypassed security, but disabling the blast shield for Shepard Commander. You have successfully opened the blast shield doors.
Good. We'll be back out in a minute.
Negative. The path behind you has been sealed. A nearby elevator can take you to the upper level. From there, you should have an acceptable line of sight for targeting.
No, I'm kind of the same way, you know. It ties into a question I think what Mario asked me the other day. Come on, game. Which boils down to, what's the difference between ripping off and being inspired by? It's the same concept. If you rip off a real-world thing, then you're ripping it off. But if you're inspired by it, then you're inspired by it, and I'm fine with that. This thing is, yeah, this thing is hard to use.
You getting anything from the base?
No. The old machines have not registered us as a threat. We recommend haste. The Creator fleet will be overrun unless you sever the Geth connection to the old
Normandy's weapon systems are ready to sync to your target. I recommend you withdraw to a safe distance. Target locked.
So this got me the first time I saw this.
Reaper!
We have located transportation.
Copy that. Everybody, get to the ship. Move!
How are we supposed to fight that thing?
I was hoping your fleet might lend a hand. Go!
Interesting that it's another destroyer, by the way. Both the missions where we kill a Reaper, it involves a destroyer. And arguably the two good missions in the entire game. At least the two good main missions in the game. I'm sure that's a coincidence, it's just interesting to think about.
It's not a Reaper base, it's a live Reaper. I need an orbital strike.
I mean, possible Space Cadet, but there is a tangible variance in between the amount of work that goes into it. That's a good point, Dakota.
What did we hit?
The firing chamber. Looks like a weak point when it's priming.
Damn it! The jamming towers have us targeting manually. We can't make a precision shot.
We may escape before it recovers.
No. Pull over.
I've got an insane idea. And let's be clear, this is nutso.
Geth stand under Reaper control and the Quarians are dead.
But
This ends now. Edie, patch the Quarians to the Normandy's weapon system. I want the targeting laser synced up to the whole damn fleet.
Understood.
Do you need assistance?
Just stay down, Legion. I'll take it from here.
Shepard Commander. Good luck.
Acknowledged. Shepard to fleet. I'll bait the weak spot. Link up with the Normandy and be ready to fire.
alright, how many of you have died on this fight?
The destroyer is in range. Missiles are ready for launch.
Oh, yeah. That's how you die in that fight. I do, as weird as it may sound, for once I appreciate the fact that the enemy shot just kills you instantly. As you can see, it actually saves your progress. Do this. It's almost like using strategy and tactics is something you can do. This isn't a matter of tactics. Sorry. Yeah, this is when the Reaper's officially done with us. Ironically, ditto. Also, this is the definition of danger close. But the advantage of having laser targeting is that it is actually pretty damn precise. Especially synced the way this works. So, who's ready for a conversation that unfortunately means nothing?
You know who I am?
Harbinger speaking.
But you will fail. The cycle must continue.
What are you talking about? We stopped Sovereign and the Geth. We stopped Harbinger and the Collectors. We've earned a straight answer.
It is not a thing you can comprehend.
Because we haven't written it yet.
We might surprise you.
You represent chaos. We represent order. Every organic civilization must be harvested in order to bring order to the chaos. It is inevitable. Without our intervention, organics are doomed. We are your salvation.
You're killing everyone in the galaxy to save us?
The cycle must continue. There is no alternative.
Organics and synthetics don't have to destroy each other.
The battle for Rannock disproves your assumption. Finish your war. We will be waiting.
We did it. We killed a Reaper.
Again.
Gila.
We can confirm that the Geth are no longer being directed by the old machines. We are free.
You did it, Shepard. The Geth free to stop firing. They're completely vulnerable.
Shepard Commander, the Geth only acted in defense after the Creators attacked. Do we deserve death?
What are you suggesting?
Not death.
With the old machine dead, we could upload them to all Geth without sacrificing their independence.
You want to upload the Reaper code? That would make the Geth as smart as when the Reaper was controlling them.
Yes, but with free will, each Geth unit would be a true intelligence. We would be alive, and we could help you.
Our fleet is already attacking. Uploading the code would destroy us. Shepard, you can't choose the Geth over my people.
Do you remember the question that caused the Creators to attack us, Talizora? Does this unit have a soul?
Why do I only have two options here?
Upload the code to the Geth. Tally, call off the fleet if you can.
Uploading. 10%.
This is Admiral Talizora. All units, break off your attack.
Belay that order. Continue the attack.
20%.
I beg you, do not do this. Please.
We regret the deaths of the Creators, but we see no alternative. 40%.
No. Nobody else dies today. Legion, keep going.
Shepard?
All ships, this is Commander Shepard. The Reaper is dead. Stand down.
This is Admiral Talizora. Shepard speaks with my authority.
And mine as well. Negative. We can win this war now. Keep firing.
60%.
The Geth are about to return to full strength. If you keep attacking, they'll wipe you out. Your entire history is you trying to kill the Geth. You forced them to rebel. You forced them to ally with the Reapers.
80%.
The Geth don't want to fight you. If you can believe that for just 1 minute, this war will be over. You have a choice. Please. Keela Salai.
All units, hold fire.
Error. Copying code is insufficient. Direct personality dissemination required. Shepard Commander, I must go to them. I'm sorry. It's the only way.
Legion, the answer to your question was yes.
I know, Tally. But thank you. Keela Salai.
Commander.
Admiral Ron, I heard your ship made a crash landing. Glad you got out in one piece.
I was listening over the radio. If Hanagar hadn't stopped...
He did.
We have taken heavy losses. I don't know if we can. Where are we supposed to go?
You are welcome to return to Rannock, Admiral Ron, with us.
Legion?
No, I'm sorry, Commander. Legion sacrificed itself to give us all intelligence. It will be honored.
Good.
And we will honor Legion's promise. The Geth fleet will help you retake Earth, and our engineers will assist in building the Crucible.
As will ours, of course.
Admiral, had you considered possible settlement sites?
The southern continent had excellent farmland, as I recall.
Are you gonna be okay?
I believe so, Commander. Thank you.
Shopping for another house?
Beachfront property.
Claim it fast. It's a buyer's market. You okay? I know working with the Geth will be difficult.
I'm not staying. I'm coming with you.
I wasn't going to ask.
I think you've earned a few favors with the fleet.
I'm asking them to launch an assault on the Reapers. Figure that makes us even.
If the Reapers were going to stay on Earth, sure. But sooner or later, they'll come to Rannock.
We did just kill one of them.
So I'm coming with you to stop them. If you think I can help.
You can help.
Thanks. When this is all over, when I know my world is safe, then I can come home. It is beautiful, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know, I've been to Utah.
It'll be years before we can live without our suits completely. But right now... Right now, I have this.
Commander Shepard, I understand you are bringing a new fleet into this war.
Yes, Counselor. 2, in fact.
I've read the reports. I can't believe you convinced both sides to stand down.
I had a lot of help.
We're still facing isolated pockets of Geth. They appear to be Geth bodies loaded with Reaper code. But they're a minor threat relative to the full Geth fleet. Regardless, Commander, you've given us the first reason to hope in this war. Speaking of which, I have information for you vital to the war effort. I'd prefer to share it in person.
What if I come to the Citadel?
That would be practical,
No! God, no!
Me in Counselor Udina's office.
Commander, Admiral Anderson is available on VidCom.
I'm never getting away from that stupid place. Alright. Alright. That wasn't as good as I remembered. That's a disappointing sensation, you know? I've talked about this a lot. When I go through for a review, sometimes things are better than I remember. Sometimes things are worse than I remember. Sometimes things are just changed. But it's always kind of unique going through. But I was kind of expecting Rannock to knock it out of the park. Like Tuchanka. Tuchanka, the whole of the Tuchanka circle, which was several missions and several things, was a grand total of 11 positives. It was fantastic. That wasn't. Some good moments, and you kind of feel where they were going for, but it feels substantially less polished than Tuchanka, which given rush development time, actually makes sense. And unfortunately, given that the next major mission after this is Thessia... Good analogy, Space Cadet. In fact, actually, let's look at this for a moment, because ignoring DLCs, you know, we have Tachanka, yeah, and then we have the build up to and the Rannock thing. Then we have Thessia, and then Horizon, then the Cerberus headquarters, and then Earth. And you'll notice that's almost a non-stop decline in quality. And I feel that's really starting to show that whole rushed, not capable of polishing thing. Oh yeah, there's also the 2 Citadel interruptions, but ironically, those continue to follow the pattern of decline in quality. At least on the story axis. Gameplay-wise, most of this stuff is going to continue to be good because, hey, there's, in fact, I can only think of, I think, 2 major gameplay negatives that I have kind of in the back of my head. Both of them are for boss fights. Excuse me. Boss fights. Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to run into 2 bumps before the end. Leviathan and Citadel. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea, Pika. I have not played any of the DLCs other than Omega, which we did yesterday before. I'm aware of all of them. I know everything that's coming. I'm looking forward to shotgunning negatives to the Leviathan retcon. Just... hated the Leviathan retcon. God damn. How would I make Rannock better? Ironically, time is the answer to that. Just polish it out some more. Like, several of the individual niggles that people have pointed out in chat are the kind of things that just scream to me rushed development. Like, we know where we want to be, we know where we start, and we want to kind of zip through as quickly as possible. Figuring out this gap, figuring out how to get from point A to point B is a lot of what writing is. And the more time and effort you spend on polishing it, the more possibilities and the more nuanced and the better it tends to be. Otherwise, we have situations where Legion's like, I must die to give sentience to the Geth, and everyone's like, why? And of course, the reason why is because we want Legion to die. Because no matter what, someone dies during the course of the Rannock quest. It's either Tali or Legion. But even that is just kind of... why? Yeah, the Geth that make up Legion are a whole bunch of programs which can be copied. You don't need to, like, disseminate your code. Like, it doesn't work that way. It's not like if I pull a GitHub and try to make my own fork of that to use that to develop my own software, the original GitHub is still there, right? Like, there's no reason for him to die there. That's ignoring the obvious software-hardware variance. Geth do not give a damn about their hardware. That's been made true in all 3 games, including this one. So yeah, it's literally just there for drama, and for no reason. I mean, Tali committing suicide out of sheer despair made more sense than that. Whatever. Moving on. Yeah, where are we at? 5,000. Okay. Let's go talk to people. I remember, Sonoshi. Don't hate me. Please Sonoshi, no more beatings, please. I'm sorry.
We just took down a Reaper without a giant thresher maw helping.
Damn right. We just showed the galaxy we can beat him.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. Look, I'm sorry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts here. We just killed a Reaper conventionally. Regardless of literally everything else we've seen in the entire franchise, there is no arguing that we just killed a Reaper conventionally. With tactics, with proper backup and strategy and force of arms. You know what's even worse? The only reason it was as difficult as it was to kill that Reaper was because they had jamming in effect. If they didn't have jamming, then the fleet could have just bombarded it from orbit without the need for us and the laser scope. And that's the other thing. That destroyer just couldn't hit us, the stinky little ant in front of it. That whole thing is just whatever.
Pretty well with those suits. Maybe they can make something like that for you.
Yeah, they have 'em. Protective medical exoskeleton. I could even get one with racing stripes.
So what's the problem?
It's like walking around in heavy armor. It totally screws with my spatial awareness.
I wear heavy armor, and my spatial awareness is perfect.
You crashed the last shuttle you flew, Vega. I need to feel my balance shift when I'm flying. I need to feel the ship moving with me. You take that away, and I don't know. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not me.
Yeah, I get that.
Plus, have you seen Tally? Come on, I don't have the hips to carry a suit like that.
It's true.
Gotta hand it to you, Commander. That's the first time I've seen someone end a war by yelling.
After seeing what the Geth Rebellion really looked like, I figured they deserved a chance.
Thank you, Commander. I doubt many organics would have trusted us.
Because it's all about organics versus synthetics.
2 fleets for the price of 1. We didn't lose anybody.
Except Legion. Before it sacrificed itself. Legion referred to itself as I instead of we.
Yeah? So?
The singular pronoun indicates Legion's independent personality had fully actualized. In its last moments, it was not an avatar of the Geth consensus. It was a person.
That's what I figured.
Well, when the Geth fleet helps us retake Earth, I guess we'll owe that to him.
Alright,
Yes,
so
Shepard?
him.
Does that body have any use?
Yeah, we've actually kind of...
The body is... It's fine manipulation servos. I am
We've
not
actually
taking
gone
out
through
my
these,
primer.
so what we're doing here is just making sure
Accordingly,
that we get these done so we can get a new dialogue the next time we actually talk to Edie.
No, that was a joke. When I established... The soldiers...
Okay.
Yeah, we were in kind of a rush to get to you.
Carry on.
Please update the next time I talk to you.
If you wish to talk more, this body will be...
Noted.
Right here. Let's actually try a trick. Let's try a trick. By the way I usually hear MacGuffins used, I would say that the Crucible is a MacGuffin. It's just the worst kind of a MacGuffin. It's the magic I win button.
What's on your mind, Edie?
I was just reflecting. The Quarians' historical era was not making the Geth enough like them.
I'm not sure I understand.
Units with networked intelligences will trend toward cooperation for mutual benefit. But units with central heuristics establishing an individual personality, such as myself, develop preferences. These preferences form attachments that keep my calculations from devaluing the worth of the lives aboard the Normandy.
You're saying the Geth turned on the Quarians because they aren't individuals?
That is my theory, but it is limited to a sample size of one society. The only other notable synthetic society is the Reapers, and we do not know if they govern by consensus as the Geth do.
Do me a favor. Don't ask them.
So she's finally giving us dialogue updates so we can start talking to her now. And yeah, obviously there's the Deus Ex Machina, but...
Commander, Admiral Anderson is available in the war room on VidCom.
I don't even want to think about that concept for a moment. Okay. Aw. Tali wants to talk to us on the ship for once. Diana Allers wants to have an interview with us. Let's get that out of the way. Next is the last priority Citadel mission. Then Thessia immediately afterwards. I guess we're inviting Liara up. Okay, sure.
Liara, you had something you wanted to discuss in my cabin?
Yes, I'll be right up.
And I swear to God, if it's sex, I'm out, okay?
Come on in.
Thank you. Could we sit? I've been thinking about the knowledge we
dude, if she has Mario Kart Double Dash on that, I am so down.
So, I put a plan in motion to preserve things for the future.
What's this?
A record of the galaxy. Information on the Reapers, relays, different cultures, and blueprints of the Crucible. But there's one entry I wanted your opinion on.
Which one?
Your own. I'd be honored to have your input. How would you like history to remember you?
I know, of all the people in the galaxy, only one person has this idea.
50,000 years is a long time for a computer to sit around.
Please, I was an archaeologist. I know what I'm doing. I'm encasing these records in time capsules and seeding copies on multiple planets. And while it's not foolproof, the VI I'm installing has every translation and linguistics program I could find.
So it's an information guide like Vigil on Ilos?
Yes, I've been preparing it for some time.
And it will be a privilege to guide the future discoverers of these records. Have you decided what you would like Dr. Tassoni to write in your entry, Commander?
You know, I do like the sense make of this, but it is an interesting question. So let's say we win and the next cycle doesn't happen. And, you know, does Liara remember where she seeded all these things to go reclaim them? Do people just several millennia from now are like, oh my God, the Reapers are coming. Look, we've got data and resources and information and everything. I mean, what if Liara dies for that matter?
Put down the truth. Good, bad, don't leave anything out. Let history be the judge.
I'll give them the facts. Let me just delete all these breathless passages on your heroics.
You writing anything I can't live up to?
I can't help myself. You're a good friend, Shepard.
You've been there for me too, Liara.
No, I haven't. I wish I could have joined you back on Ilium.
You made up for it.
Well, I suppose I did just write your name in the stars.
Well, that was nice. Let's completely ruin it.
Trainer, can you send up Diana Allers? She wants to talk to me.
She's on her way, Commander.
I'm sure you've got a million questions.
I narrowed it down to 40. Let's see.
God, speaking of animation, the way she walks is so wrong.
Commander, the last time most of us heard about Geth, they were attacking the Citadel alongside Sovereign.
Yes, and you should know that was a minority of the Geth. Most of them are not hostile to organics.
Is that how you explain that they're allies, and no longer dangerous robots who stick humans on spikes?
Who is doing the camera work on this scene?
What you have to realize is that despite their reputation, most Geth are not inherently violent. The Quarians attacked them. The Geth fought back in self-defense just like any organic would. Now that we've freed the Geth from Reaper control, they'll want payback for their enslavement.
But you're going to take an army of synthetics, to fight Reapers with untold hacking abilities. What's keeping the Reapers from reprogramming the Geth like they have before?
This interview is over.
The Geth are extremely intelligent, and they put incredible thought into solving this problem. They're not gonna turn again. I'd bet my life on it.
Now here's a question from a Batarian on Omega. Commander Shepard, if the mass relays can be destroyed... So did I miss anything? Do you have any questions?
You gonna go file your story now?
Well, if you don't mind.
Go tell the galaxy what we've done. They could use some good news.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Watch the walk. Watch the walk. Oh, God, it's just... Ah! Okay, we're good.
James, I've got some time if you want to talk privately.
On my way.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good, James. You?
Good, good. Wow. So this is what I can look forward to when I get my own command.
You want your own ship, Vega?
Yeah, maybe one day. When I'm old and I can't fight worth shit anymore.
You just come up here to make fun of your commander?
Sorry, Loco. I guess maybe I got some things on my mind. I wanted to get your opinion on something.
Shoot.
What'd you do when they asked you to join the N7 program? I mean, was it a no-brainer for you, or did you think about it before accepting?
The N7 program is a big deal, but it's also a big commitment.
I hear that.
You get the best training, best equipment, best assignments.
And they expect the best in return.
Yes, they do. Why you asking?
Well, even all the shit that's going on, somebody somewhere managed to track me down and forward an N7 commendation. It's dated the same day the Reapers attacked Earth.
You don't sound too thrilled.
Well, aside from the fact that there won't be an N7 program if we don't win this war, being a soldier's the only thing I've ever been really good at. And not because I try. Hell, I'd have kicked my ass out years ago. Last time I had a command, I lost almost everyone, and they promoted me for it. I guess I'm just not sure if I'm ready to lead again. I don't know if I want that responsibility.
You mentioned that before. What went wrong?
What didn't go wrong? We were out on patrol, checking on some strange readings, and the collectors hit. But they hit the colony first. By the time we got back, most of the colonists had been subdued or abducted, including our CO, Captain Tony.
So you were in charge?
Yeah. We laid low for a bit, waiting for a chance to strike, but before we could, we were betrayed. One of the colonists turned out to be a Cerberus spy working with the collectors. I had no choice. I killed him and destroyed the collector ship. But it got ugly. We lost most of the colonists and all but one of my squad. Not exactly a textbook operation.
Soldiers are expendable.
You can't blame yourself for being put in a tough situation. And if you were promoted, then something must have gone right.
Sure, but...
If you'd saved them all, would things have worked out better?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The right choice is usually not the easy one.
Yeah. Did you know that before you joined the N7?
Yeah. That's why I was asked. And it's why they asked you. There's not a single N7 that hasn't sacrificed, either themselves or their soldiers at some point.
So you think I should accept?
Assuming we survive this, that's a no-brainer. You're a damn good soldier, Vega. Don't waste that opportunity.
I'll think about it. Seriously. If you don't mind, maybe don't mention this to anyone else.
Of course not.
Gracias. Well, I think I better get back to the hangar. Things here, it's a little too soft for me.
The bed's a lot harder than it looks.
I'll take your word for it. Thanks again, Loco.
Anytime.
And stuff like that is why I do like Vega as a character. That and the actor. You know what that reminds me of, Gum Gum? People accusing the Earth two-parter in DS9 of being an allegory for 9/11. By the way, DS9 predates that by several years. unfortunately, the real allegory is the collectors, who are an allegory for communism. There we go. We gotta stop the Reds. No, yeah, it's a good scene. In fact, I'm even gonna jot that down here. That's a good question, Latario. Depends on how you define the Force. Now to roam the ship aimlessly, hoping to find someone who's willing to talk to me for 5 seconds. Sorry, I'll let it go. I'll let it go. It's just, I've already given it the negatives. Moving on.
Got the flush.
Full house. Caught it on the river.
Shit.
Thought you were bluffing on the flush. Good for you.
Can it, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir, Major Alenko, sir. Hey, Commander.
Shepard, I'd deal you in, but Vega just cleaned me out.
Oh, come on. That really as deep as your pockets go? No sentimental crap stowed away? Investments?
I got some land on the Sunshine Coast I could put up.
I'll pass.
I'm sorry. I know that we all make fun of Cerberus for branding everything, but someone went out of their way to dye the center of that casino table with the Alliance logo. Dye is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. That's true too, Latario.
Have we found any new engineers for the Crucible glyph?
5 ex-Sonax Industries scientists who attempted to reverse engineer Prothean technology stolen from planet Garvug. They are technically still wanted by the Council for hiding Prothean technology. As well, Sonax's part in instigating an illegal war on Garvug.
I'm sure the Council will forgive that for helping with the Crucible. Extend those scientists amnesty and an invitation.
Right away.
I like that. An illegal war, as opposed to, you know, the other kind. I'll read those in a minute. Out loud. Yeah, I like this one. Next time you want to warn me that Geth are our friends and maybe we're not supposed to shoot the big robots. I almost pissed myself when the Prime started dropping out of the sky and mopping up the Reapers. We fired a few rounds at them until we realized they weren't firing back. Then this one come over and says they're allied assistants and asks for status. I'm not complaining, but I'm never living down having to apologize to a Geth for shooting one of its damned lights off. The things the Protheans must have seen. If they had the technology to preserve someone for over 50,000 years, it's no wonder they were capable of building things like the device on Mars. Except they didn't. I must give him time to get his bearings, but good lord. When will we get another chance to learn so much about this civilization? I'm not sure what I make of Javik. I approached him while we were traveling to a different system, but he wasn't inclined to talk. What little he does say concerns the Reapers and our possible failure. Is he simply a soldier mourning his people? Or is it a fundamental difference in our cultures? If what Javik says is true, his people were imperialists who left the rest of the galaxy quaking in terror. And I think he would sacrifice all of us without a thought if it would bring him back again. I reviewed my old notes today. They're so childish. Did we romanticize the Protheans because we were bedazzled by the technology they left behind? Are these really the people I dedicated my life to studying? Yeah, exactly, Castle. Yeah, to which the answer is, of course, yes! High Act. I mean, it's still kind of there.
Not sure what to think about that little mech dog roaming the ship.
You mean Sophie? I think she's cute.
What purpose does she serve?
I guess I have a soft spot for worthless dogs. Look how long I've been with you.
Got a point.
Can't be. No. I guess that's right.
Hey, Tally. How's it going?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you. I just got communication from the fleet. Sorry. From Rannock. In the old days, I'd send any new technology I found back to the fleet. I should probably be doing that with the agriculture samples now. I don't know anything about raising crops.
How are your people doing?
It's crazy. The Geth are helping. Setting up housing, adapting power systems. They are doing in weeks what would have taken us years. Geth are even uploading into the suits of Quarian volunteers. They're rewriting environmental functions, jump-starting our immune systems.
I'm not going to ask how can they do that, because that's an extremely stupid question.
So the Quarians won't have to wear those suits anymore?
It doesn't seem possible, but yes, in a few years, with Geth improvements, we won't need them. We might still wear them. The suits have become part of our society. But a rupture won't be a death sentence. Today, on Rannock, there are Quarian children who will grow up healthy and strong, thanks to the Geth.
They owe that to you.
No. I'd have killed the Geth with no regrets. And I'd have been wrong. Thank you.
Yeah, just imagine the horrific future if the organic Quarians and the synthetic Geths merged into some kind of synthesis.
I'm falling down tired. I need a folding chair or something.
I don't want to talk to you.
Commander.
Oh, thank God you have nothing to say. Goodbye. I think we've got a satisfaction of Allers already. We've finished all of Javik's stuff. He doesn't have anything to say after you reach a certain point, which we reached immediately. That's the biggest problem with Javik. He's not actually a bad character. It's just he has nothing to do with anything. It's like he shows up, he has his bundle of dialogue, and then he shows up for 4 more cutscenes after that, of which we've already seen 1. And that's it. Yeah, that's one of them, Lord Paramount. No, we haven't bought the Widow yet. It's the one we already saw on the Citadel, the one on Thessia, the one on Earth, and then the one during Citadel, I believe. Could be wrong about that. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking, Taquita, but I think we're going to approach that from a different angle. Do you have to do it by... Oh my god, okay, whatever. There's the Carnifex. Last place where I was. This is actually a nice quality of life feature. The only downside is they actually charge more for doing it through here. So, like, I'm not going to buy any N7s, or excuse me, Spectre stuff through here. But I'll buy the rest. Because the whole point is I'm not really trying to show off how good the guns are. That's something that I don't really have the ability to show off without literally cheating. Instead, I'm just going to try and show off the quality and quantity of the guns and how they vary from each other.
I've got to say, I enjoyed that last mission on Rannock.
Oh yeah, we're also done with Cortez at this point. I actually forgot about that. I didn't see Garrus.
Commander.
Don't do it, Giga Pudding. Don't do it! Wait a minute, you're gonna try to force me to eat carrots? What a vile, evil force could do such a thing. Right, what are we up to? 5,000. Where is Garrus? No he isn't. Yes, Evo, it is okay. Oh, hang on.
Commander Shepard.
No, hang on. I think I know what you're talking about too, now that you say it out loud. So I think this caught me the first and second time I played this game. There he is.
Shepard, was starting to think you forgot my favorite hangout.
Sorry, busy. Looks like you've managed to settle in.
After what I've been through lately, calibrating a giant gun is a vacation. Gives me something to focus on.
We're gonna need you for more than your aim.
Oh, I'm ready for it. But I'm pretty sure we'll still need giant guns. And lots of them. Sovereign didn't go down without a fight. I doubt 1,000 more of his friends will be any different. Still not convinced I should have left Palaven behind.
There was a boy back on Earth. Couldn't have been more than 6 or 7. I watched him die as the Normandy escaped the attack. Somehow I'm still alive. And he's not.
Being right about the Reapers has never felt much like a victory, has it?
We both knew this fight would be tough. Damned if the Reapers haven't delivered.
At least my government listened to me. Or pretended to. They finally gave me a task force as a token to shut me up.
So you're their expert advisor now?
Just followed your example, Shepard. Yell loud enough and someone will eventually come over to see what all the fuss is about. Not that they'll actually do anything about it.
Until hell shows up at their door. Then they put you in charge.
Not like the old days, is it? Rogue Spectre and C-Sec agents running and gunning outside the lines, making it up as we went along. We're actually respectable now.
We've lost enough friends trying to make sure this day never came. I'd say we've all earned some respect.
Then the first Reaper we take out with this gun, it's in their honor. Just give the word.
Don't worry, it'll be the one we just killed on Rannock. Anyways, thank you, Giga, for being part of the show. Although I have to know, what was your recipe for this morning? Potatoes, the cheese? It looked quite good. That's a fair point. For some reason, the SR2, which for some reason, like we have the Thanix cannons, right? We have the mega guns that two-shot a collector ship. So surely we were involved in firing, but having just watched it a few minutes ago, I don't think I saw any of our shots amongst the random fire from the fleet. Like, why... Not yet, Django, no.
You mentioned you still had family on Palaven.
My father is there. Sister, too.
How long has it been since you heard from them?
Long enough to be worried.
I'm sure they're okay.
That's the thing about getting old, Shepard. The platitudes get just as old. Pretty soon, blind hope is all we'll have left. And I hate being blind.
I know you don't have any illusions about what we're up against, Garrus. How do you rate our chances?
I know it looks bad now, but I think we can win this, Shepard. For the first time since we met, we're not alone in the fight. It's something I learned long ago in CSEC. An imminent and painful death has a way of motivating people. Instead of questioning your every word, whole civilizations are going to be begging you to save them.
After what's happened to Palaven, you still believe that?
I didn't say there wouldn't be casualties. It's something Turians are taught from birth. If just one survivor is left standing at the end of a war, then the fight was worth it. But humans want to save everyone. In this war, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, we've already lost Legion. And Conrad Werner!
So what's this Reaper task force you've been running?
After what happened to you out there in Batarian space, I knew time was running out. For all of us. The Citadel Council was a dead end, so I did something I never thought I'd do. I went to my father.
He used to work for CSEC, didn't he? I seem to remember that the two of you didn't see eye to eye.
To put it mildly. But he still had heavy pull in the Turian government. The Primarch, well, the old one, was a friend of his. So I went to my father and laid out everything we knew about the Reapers, from Saren all the way to the Collector base.
Let me guess. He laughed in your face.
Amazingly, no. He just listened. My father may have been a pain in the ass about rules and regulations, but he never let politics cloud his judgment. If the connections were there, he wouldn't deny them, and he saw what we always knew. The Reapers were coming.
I'm glad someone finally agreed.
He did more than agree. He took it to the Primarch.
I like his style.
Except the Primarch wasn't as convinced. My father kept pushing and finally got him to commit some token resources. And if you call them a task force, it sounds like you did something about it.
What did you do with it?
As much as I could get away with. And a little more. We hardened our lines of communications, expanded emergency stockpiles across the colonies, improved our early warning detection protocols.
You think it helped?
I'd like to think it bought our fleet some extra time. We'll know when this war is over.
That's all for now, Garrus. It's damn good to have you back.
Wouldn't miss this fight for anything. Now, I'm sure somebody screwed up something down here. I want to get the old girl back in fighting shape.
Sour cream? Ugh. We're not friends anymore, Giga. Correct, Evo. It should be, cityscape, cloud, however many clouds you want to put, waterfalls, and that should be the layers. I'm pretty sure Conrad's not here. We checked earlier. And I am right. Also, Legion is not on this list either. Oh, never mind, there he is. He's right there. They moved him up for some reason. I guess that makes sense. So, Citadel. Yep, Citadel. We have to talk to Miranda. That's actually the most important thing to do on the Citadel. And we've got what is effectively a speed bump, but it's there in case you made certain choices in previous games. We talked to Kate, John. He was playing poker with Vega. I talked to both of them. Vega was like, hey, Commander. And Caden was like, hey, I'd deal you in, but he just cleaned me out. We just did that. This particular trip. My memory's not that bad.
You're cleared to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
Yeah, the Commons.
I need a cab to the Presidium.
Thessia will be next. It is actually the next thing we're doing. We don't have that much left, but I don't think we're going to beat it today, and I've kind of come to peace with that. Alright, where you at, Miranda? I just don't like the flavor of it, Giga. That's all. Although, I will admit, I tend to not like most stuff like that. Like, I hate mayo. Screw mayo. I probably would not, Latario. And I don't like cream cheese. It's another one.
I got your message, Miranda. Is this about your sister?
Shepard, I need access to Alliance resources. I can't say any more. You'll just have to trust me.
Done.
You'll have your access, Miranda, but I don't like the sound of this.
I know, and thank you. It means a lot.
That's not the only thing you wanted to talk about, is it?
No. I need to tell you something. Confess, really. It's been eating away at me.
Confess?
When I headed the Lazarus Project to rebuild you, I wanted to implant a control chip in you as a safeguard.
We actually already know this.
I think you mentioned this.
I did. There's more to it. The elusive man stopped me.
We knew that too.
Sounds like it would have saved him a lot of trouble.
Maybe. He didn't want to interfere with who you truly were. Something that just obeyed orders. He wanted Commander Shepard. Installing the chip might have ruined you.
I understand why you wanted to. I was a complete unknown.
I've never had to deal with that many black boxes on a project. I felt blind.
Why bring that up now?
I fought against my father and his need to run every aspect of my life. He wanted total control over me, right down to my bloody DNA. After I got out of there, I couldn't stand by and let it happen to my sister. I risked my life to get her away from all that.
I know all this.
Yet I didn't give a second thought to destroying your free will when I had the power.
This is what's been bothering you?
I told you, it's crazy.
It's not crazy. Well, maybe a little crazy.
Shepard.
Miranda, I lost 2 years of my life. You gave me back the rest of it. You could have changed me in 1,000 different ways, but you didn't. I don't know how, but you brought me back.
Thanks. But with so much being uncertain, I just wanted you to know I always regretted wanting that chip.
This is very close to being a good scene. Because, honestly, the only thing really dragging this down is the new player exposition. I kind of like the idea that this has been weighing on Miranda. She has, of course, already told us this. But she never really apologized for it. She never opened up and said, I'm sorry. And I love the idea that she has developed enough as a character to process how horrific this was, and so forth and so on, right? So I feel like this scene could have worked, and would have been a really good scene, but unfortunately now I have to make sure that Evo feels even more sick than she already does.
Miranda, we're both under so much pressure to be perfect. We never give ourselves a break.
We can't give ourselves a break. There's too much at stake.
Hey.
Yes.
Come here.
Oh? Still impatient, Commander?
It's a weird one, Giga.
Still trying to maintain...
Not even a good one. Like, look at that.
But failing.
Good. I'm almost out of moves.
I'm not.
God, we are so terrible. It's actually kind of adorable in its own way. How bad we are at flirting. And that is the official reignition of the romance, according to the achievement. Oh my god. Yeah, Shepard's terrible at dancing and terrible flirting, and I love it. Anyways, I'm not actually joking. I really do, unironically, like how bad we are at these things. Okay. So I talked to Miranda. There was one other person I had to go talk to. And I can't remember who it was before we do the actual mission, which is on Udina's place. Does anyone remember who it was? It was someone who sent me a mail that was like, hey, come talk to me on the Citadel. Now, my memory is this bad. No, it wasn't Tali. Was it James? Aid is done. No. That's the main story fun function. I got an email saying, hey, come talk to me. Well, Garrus is there, and he's usually not. That might actually be the big scene. The big scene with Garrus. So hang on, let's go talk to Garrus. Because he's in the right spot for it.
Spectre status. One moment, please.
And then we'll hit Samara. So, I want to say this up front. In my mind, this is pure headcanon. But in my mind, I'm not letting him win. He's better than me at sniper shooting. That's my headcanon. I just wanted to let everyone to know that.
Shepard. Shepard, glad you came.
What'd you have in mind?
Something that doesn't involve fighting Reapers.
I don't think they've conquered the bar yet.
I already scoped it out. But then I thought, if this was my last day alive, I'd actually like to remember it.
So?
So, I had an idea.
That's true, Space Cadet. We do have him kitted out to destroy everything.
Where are we going?
Somewhere we're not supposed to.
That was 8 years ago, Lord Harriman.
Some things never change.
And I have changed my mind on the matter.
Ever have that one thing you always wanted to do before you died, Shepard?
Too busy trying to live. What's yours?
The whole time I worked at CSEC, I'd stare up at the top of the Presidium and say to myself, I want to go up there. But I never did. There were 137 regulations telling me I couldn't.
So you got them changed?
No. Now I just don't give a damn.
It's a good time for it. Good morning, Ross.
Figured it's time to do something stupid just for the hell of it. Might be the last chance we ever get. A little busier than I imagined.
How about a dive in the pool?
You obviously haven't seen Turians swim. It's a lot of flailing and splashing interrupted by occasional bouts of drowning.
You're right. I just have to save your ass again.
It'd make up for all the times I pulled your ass out of the fire. Noveria, Pharos, Ilos. We've had a hell of a ride, haven't we?
Why are all of those on one? You've been with me the whole time.
Times like these, you know who your real friends are. They're not the ones running around looking for an escape route. They're the ones who stand at your side through the worst of it. Who never give up on you. I'm lucky I can say I know someone like that.
So am I. You're not going to propose marriage now, are you?
Thought about it.
Now, before we head back, there is one thing we're going to settle. Once and for all. I'm not saying you don't know how to handle a gun, just saying some of us know how to make it dance. So, let's find out who's really the best shot.
There are a few people in the galaxy who've seen me in action, Garrus. They seemed impressed.
Yeah, but I've actually seen you dance, Shepard. No comment.
All right, Vicarian. You're going down.
And don't worry, I loaded it with practice slugs for when you miss. That was an easy one. Let you build up your confidence. Long range, I wrote the book. Nobody alive can do this, not even Commander Shepard. Give me a tough one. I said a tough one.
Step aside. Do it.
I'm Garrus Vicarian, and this is now my favorite spot on the Citadel.
It's windy up here.
Think I'm going to erect a monument right here. Bronze this gun so the whole galaxy knows.
That you're the king of the bottle shooters. Glad you're around, Garrus. Never know when the bottles might revolt.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Fan service is not inherently bad. The reason that the term fan service has a negative connotation is because most people screw it up. I don't have to explain pluses there. Really, I don't think I do. I believe you are correct, Latario. Although I don't remember all of the choices for a default. But I know the galaxy is actually in a pretty screwed up state if you choose the default path. Like, there's several choices, which are the default choices, which I'm just like...
Have you discovered a way to run FTL spaceships without an EZO core, Private Talavi?
No, ma'am.
Then consider this a serious assignment. Intel's expecting a Cerberus raid.
Cerberus? Cerberus?
They're a problem?
I thought we were fighting Reapers, ma'am.
Give it a week. You could be.
Okay, so hold up. What else we got here? I think Samara has something to say. We'll poke at her. We'll see if Edie and Joker have anything to say. Tali's there, so we need to talk to her. I think that's it. Then we'll go ahead and advance. So let's do embassies first. Yeah, you kill Rex as the default timeline, which just has me going... Like, of all the things to be default, why would you kill Rex?
Now arriving at Presidium Embassy.
I hoped you'd come. I won't remain here much longer.
What are you doing on the Citadel, Samara?
I suppose I came to say goodbye. Falair is safe, and Rila is at rest. I felt the need to speak to you before heading to battle. I want you to know there is no one else I'd rather see leading us in our last hours.
We'll make the galaxy proud. The largest fleet in history is already on our side.
It is impressive. Most would have deemed such an alliance impossible. But Shepard, be sure to assess your force's strengths and weaknesses before setting out.
Yeah, we've got Lord Firestorm and Lord Harrimont both in chat right now. I think they're at war, some kind of territorial dispute.
What are the other Justicars doing for the war?
Most have made it home. They will attempt to hold Thessia. With the odds we face, it's possible our order will no longer exist after this war.
There's that few of you?
Our numbers were never great. We must prepare to sacrifice ourselves, if that is what's required.
Was being a Justicar worth it if that's how it all ends?
The Justicars were formed to bring order to a world that laughs at the notion. The role is solitary. Its demands are lonely and uncompromising, often to the point of pain. But following the code left me with no regrets. Take that for what you will.
What about nearly committing suicide because your daughter had to be confined to a tiny outpost by herself? Does she have food?
You know, I never asked you if your code has anything useful on fighting Reapers.
Treat them as any other enemy. Show no quarter, mercy, or weakness. The only difference is the scale of our foe. The code is too strict to account for such small discrepancies.
Is that how you see it, too?
An odd question, coming from the Spectre who killed his third Reaper on Rannock.
Thank you for at least acknowledging that.
Will Falair be all right in the monastery? Or what's left of it?
We spoke for some time. It won't be easy. But if there is a way to survive, Falair will find it. It was good to see her again. Perhaps it's unseemly for a Justicar to dwell so much on her family.
I'm just happy things worked out.
I was fortunate that Falair saw things so clearly. And it would have turned out quite differently without your intervention. Thank you.
I actually thought about doing that, Lord Harrimont. But then I realized that would be terrible.
Good luck out there, Samara.
You as well. I don't know if you believe in such things. But Goddess go with you, Shepard. We'll both be tested in fire.
Ask me again after we beat Thessia, and I'll tell you what I think of the Goddess. One word for each trek, Captain. How do you say "in over your head" in one word?
Excuse me. I'm Commander Shepard. If you promise to be careful, I've got something for you.
A Reaper code fragment. Yes, I can use this to try to predict their strategic processes. We might be able to save a few worlds with this, Commander. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. G. Cormos' answer, which I shall not repeat out loud, is how we describe Archer.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a one moment, please.
I kind of want it to look like it's an edge, you know. You can see kind of like foliage and terrain kind of going over, and you've got like the crags going down kind of a thing. But I'll let you have creative freedom.
Will your new heavy armor keep you safe?
So let's see. So that's Archer. That's Kirk. Picard is obviously the diplomat. That's actually a good point, Evo. Go ahead and walk the dog. We got some catch up first. You've got at least 20 minutes, Croatia. Janeway's bipolar.
You just introduced me as your personal assistance mech.
Yeah, well, it was the only way to get you inside.
But you know I am not one. Why deceive others?
You don't really want to introduce yourself as an AI with Reaper-based code. They would lynch you.
That would be an inefficient way to render me non-functional.
Edie. Archer looks for things. Things that make him go. Oh god, that would be awful. I love that idea, Latario. Maybe there's a specific faction of Force users in the Star Wars rewrite that are just like that. That are Justice Lords. Straight up. That's an interesting idea. Okay, so we had Tali. I think that's it. So yeah, let's go talk to Tali.
Recognized. Please one moment, please.
Then we'll advance the plot.
Now arriving at Presidio.
Where was she again? Tali? Tali.
Her name is Thessia Prothean. Of course. P-O-R-A-E.
Weshra, I have an audio log for you.
For me? Where did this come? Oh no. Oh, Tasha. Thank you for bringing this back. At least I know what happened.
You're welcome. I mean, the joke answer is Cisco is emissary. Apparently I passed her. Where is she? Where is she?
Of course. We can have ships at the colony in 36 hours. Do you need medical support?
No, evacuating the colony is more than enough. Thank you, Ambassador.
Ambassador?
I'm coordinating actions for the fleet while we're here. Evacuating colonies, bolstering Turian defense lines. I think it was right here. 3 years ago to the day.
What?
This was where Saren's assassins fired at me. I'd just gotten to the Citadel. I didn't think I needed my barriers up. My mistake.
I still remember this specific thank you, if I'm remembering correctly, Directy. It was the kid, right? If you go through the village town in the perfect method so that everybody lives. And he just says a very sincere thank you. It's one of the reasons I'm so harsh about voice acting, even for random NPCs, because that kind of stuff matters. That, and in the old days, they used to not bother with NPC voice acting.
You never told me about this. How bad was it?
Got me in the arm. They used polonium rounds. I was running a fever in minutes. It was the first time I'd been really hurt on my pilgrimage. I ran to the Council embassy, asked for protection, offered the data on Saren. The Turian clerk called me Soot Rat. He threatened to have me tossed off the station if I didn't leave.
I wish that clerk could see you now.
He just did. That was him back there. I don't think he remembers me.
And you're assisting him in spite of that.
This war is too big for old grudges. You showed me that. We're at peace with the Geth. I can't waste my time on a Turian who made me angry. Besides, it all worked out. I made it to the wards. You found me. Happy ending.
And now the Turians will get the aid they desperately need.
I nearly reminded him who I was. Made him apologize, rubbed his nose in it. Maybe he and I both needed to grow up a little.
The difference is that you helped when it counted.
Thanks, Shepard. So did you.
You know, this may sound like a strange thing, but I was going to do exactly that, Twister. So we have the guessing game, right? Which is obviously still going. But I thought, just for fun, we should have an ancillary guessing game. How many negatives do you think the Mass Effect 3 ending will get? I have seen all the news about it, Trahexia, yes.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination.
Don't guess in chat. I have no way of keeping track of that. Let's put it under the outro. And we'll start the outro at when you start the final rush on Earth. Actually, that's a good question. Because the point of no return is before you go to the Cerberus base. The Cerberus base. So you got Cerberus base, Earth, final rush, and then ending. How much of that do you think qualifies as the outro? Because that's a good question.
With the war between the Geth and the Quarians now ended, the Turian military is receiving
Are you kidding? My family disowned me.
The only thing we know for certain is that the ending is at least one negative. Excuse me, 2 negatives. 1 to story, for obvious reasons, and 1 to gameplay, for not being a good outro, as always. Everything past that, I have no idea. I'm trying not to prejudge.
I want all remaining files secured and marked for Tentron clearance only. Commander Shepard.
Have you found something?
We're continuing our investigation into Counselor Udina's activities. It's still not clear how he managed the coup attempt. However, I need to speak with you on another matter. Matters have taken a serious turn for the Asari Republics. We understand your crucible is still missing an important component. The catalyst, I believe you call it.
Do you know where it is?
Unfortunately, no. But we do have an artifact on our home world, Thessia, classified at the highest levels.
What is it?
Suffice it to say, it may help you identify the catalyst. The artifact is in a temple located at these coordinates. A scientific team there will provide assistance.
Like I said, Sean is already wrong, because there are guaranteed, absolute, non-negotiable 2 negatives to the outro for this game. One for gameplay, for being a crap and absent outro, and one to story for obvious. Past that, who knows? Thank you, Hive King. Always appreciate those subs. Thank you. If you want to put that towards something, please let me know. By the way, this is super not happening, but I just want you all to know that you keep putting me in the mood to push the Dragon Age block up substantially. I'm not going to do it, and even if I did, it wouldn't work out. But let's see. Thessia.
If this artifact is so important, why keep it hidden?
Where'd the music go?
Even our allies can have their own agenda. A balance of power exists in the galaxy that we don't wish to upset.
The Reapers are doing that right now.
And that's why I'm sharing this with you.
I appreciate the help.
It's for both our benefit. The homeworld has never been threatened before. Thessia has always been an oasis in a galaxy full of turmoil. The Reapers are about to change that.
I'll do what I can.
More lives depend on you than any soul should have to bear. You have my prayers.
Well, I've talked it up plenty. Yeah, hang on. Let me, could someone type guess in chat really quick for me, please, while I set something up here? Thank you. Here, we'll do this super quick. Just for fun. There. Extra little column just for y'all. It's not updating. No, Litario. Although we don't even know if we're getting a keep for Dragon Age 4 either, so. Thank you, Mako. I mean, Croatia. Always appreciate that support. Thank you. I have jotted that down for the Dragon Age blog. Let's, so we're going to go with net. So what I'm asking for is how many negatives do you think it's get? Not net, just negatives. That does include gameplay and story. The only thing I'm not sure about is how to define the outro. And I noticed nobody gave me any real opinions in there other than one person saying it should be post Kai Lang. Let me think about that. Let me really process that in my head for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't think that the Cerberus base should count as part of the outro, even though it's after the point of no return. It doesn't feel like it gameplay-wise or narratively. So let's eject that. So we're past Kai Lang. That is important. But we are going to be including at least a portion of Earth. Yeah, I see. I kind of feel like all of Earth should be effectively the outro. Especially given the way it's structured. Because it's like Earth, and then the run up to the Citadel, which is very, very brief. And then the very slow walk up through the Citadel. And then the ending, right? So I think that's how we're going to define it. The outro is Earth and the Citadel. There you go. So that's going to be our definition. And remember, all negatives, gameplay, and story. Oh, wrong thing. Wrong thing. I can only afford like one of these. What's one I actually want to show up? None of these. Eh. Yeah, the Cerberus base, we'll talk about this when we get there, but in many ways the Cerberus base is more outro than the actual outro is. Probably because, and we do know this nowadays, the team that made most of the game worked up to and including the Cerberus base, and then the morons who made the intro made the outro. Well, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that, Dream Whisperer. I was going to do it on the field, but yeah, we can just do that here. Although we can only... I just realized we can only show off so many weapons because we're not a soldier.
Spectre status recognized.
I would rather you not, Evo. Speaking from my own graphical design preferences, my own directorial preferences, and my own cinematic preferences, I don't like doing looping unless we can avoid it. Drew Karpyshyn is probably a writer. That's all I'm willing to say on him. That I haven't already said during the 4 run, because we talked about him there. Now go watch a 37-day video to figure out what I said about him. You like scooch these back. Way back. There you go. There you go. Hey, it's the Avenger. The worst gun in the series. God, look at that spread. That is such a piece of crap. I'm surprised any of that hit that. This is one of my favorite shotguns, by the way. So that's, of course, the Carnifex. We all know that thing. That's the Claymore for shotguns. The Hornet on the SMGs. The Avenger, which we already know about. We're going to show off the Phaeston. That was apparently the Incisor, so next we'll show off the Indra. So, the Phaeston is one of my favorite assault rifles, and the reason why is because of this. Now, you'll notice it has about as much spread as the Avenger, but it sounds a lot cooler, and its stats are overall a little bit better. Plus, it handles burst better than the Avenger does. Oh, yeah, it also shoots much faster. Interesting recoil on that SMG. We have this thing, of course. Which I think speaks for itself. Wow, that has much more spread. Look at that. I'm hitting that guy. Hang on. There's no music here. Let's fix that. I don't know. Where is it? There it is. So we'll try the Predator next, which I believe is the default. Whoops. The Eviscerator. That's a fun one. Tempest, which is terrible. The Geth. Gotta love Geth guns. And the Javelin. So this is the Geth assault rifle. Much less spread. A nice long clip. This thing's almost an LMG. Not much variance with the default. Tempest is absolutely terrible, as it always is. Oh my god. That's actually worse. Are you seeing that? That is worse spread than the Avenger. God, that's terrible. This is a melee weapon. Then we got this thing. Oh god. There we go. This is designed to kill things. It's effectively a bolt action. A lot of the shotguns are fairly similar, just mostly varying in their clip size. So we'll try out the Scorpion. We got a bunch of guns here. There's the Geth Plasma, Django's favorite. The Blood Pack SMG. The Mattock. We all know what the Mattock's like. And the Mantis. So, you know the Mattock. That's the Mattock. Now, this is me holding the button down. Yes, Evo. Maybe. Possibly. This is me spamming. So as you can see, it actually does have a decent rate of fire, but it's a little, you know, NES-y. So, I'm pretty sure, but please correct me if I'm wrong, this is the gun that Kirahi had. Which is exactly as amusing as it sounds. This is the Blood Pack gun. AKA garbage in every way. And of course this thing. Enough said, really. Oh, hang on, gotta show off the Geth shotgun. That thing's mean, but I don't like the charge time. The common trend I want you to be paying attention to is how much these actually vary, not just in terms of stats. Some of them are just stat changes based on each other, but a lot of these literally function differently. Now, there's some commonalities here. They've got wind-ups, they've got single shots, they've got spreads, they've got melee focus, they've got lots of damage per bullet, they've got no damage per bullet but a higher clip rate. God, this thing is ridiculous. Yeah, enough said on that. Oh, they absolutely do. Mike, come on. So here's the Geth SMG. So, it's hard to see, but it's actually... I'm fighting against its pull back there. But if you can keep it centered, it actually has relatively small spread. So, it's harder on you to keep it in the middle. Oh, okay, I'll stop it just for you, Pillars of Snow. It's harder to use, but if you use it properly, it has way more damage focused on a single spot. Then we've got things like this. So this is once again a tapper. It's because if I hold down the button... So this is the hand cruncher. Oh, I missed one, sorry. Alright. done with SMGs for now. We have a lot of assault rifles. There's the Remnant and the Viper next. This is also an LMG. Big ol' clip side, huge spread, terrible range. And you have to fight it constantly. But if I'm remembering correctly, this is the thing where if you're fighting something at, say, this range, that thing is dead. Okay, no, I'm sorry, Pillagers. No, this silence is too much. I can't deal with silence. So you get to listen to Mega Man music now. So. For the charge shot. Huge recoil. But it doesn't matter because the shot fires where you have it aimed at the time. And very low spread. A lot of the Geth's guns have very low spread, which is nice. Notice how very little drift there is on this thing. This is the Widow, I think? No, this isn't the Widow. What is this? This is the Mantis? Hang on, what do I have equipped? Viper! Sorry, this is the Viper. I know what gun it is, I just can't think of the name of it. Oops, wrong direction. Not sure that's actually hitting the targets at all. But yeah, very low drift. Look at that. Good morning, Savicum. So then we'll see the Acolyte, which I personally don't care for. The Scimitar, one of my personal favorite shotguns. Valkyrie, I don't know the Valkyrie off the top of my head. And the... I'm not sure about that one either. There's a lot of guns in this game. So this is a weird one. Because it's got an arc and a charge. But it's also AoE and does some pretty decent damage. Actually successfully hit anything. Very low clip size, too. Oh, it also bounces, if I'm not mistaken. Here, let's check that out. Yeah, see? It's kind of a ricochet gun. So that one can be very fun. Okay, so this is a charge gun, but while you're charging, it also zooms you in more. That's an interesting sniper rifle. So, of course, we got this monster. That's probably hard to see. This thing also has a little bit of fall-off in it. In fact, I'm pretty sure half these bullets are not hitting the target. This has terrible range. But that's because this is supposed to fight something right there. So this is a burst. Every button press is 2 shots, looks like. Never back to that. Okay. We're almost done. We're almost done. There's some really good gun variety is kind of the whole point I'm trying to get across here. So, the Rieger Carbine. I'm not familiar with that. We'll have to see how that is. Then we'll have the Vindicator. Oh, you know the Vindicator. I've used it the whole game. So we'll do the Particle Rifle. And, of course, the Keyshot, because I don't have the Widow, because I can't deform it. This... hold on. So, the Blood Pack gun. That is... Of course that's the Blood Pack gun. I don't know what else to add to that. Literally a clip size of 1. It's the I bet this is the Carnifex 2. Alright, so this is interesting. Oh, the charge sniper. Oh, it's a bolt action charge sniper. That's interesting. Very precise though. Look at that. Ooh. Alright, so here's the Rieger. This is the one Django's been talking about. Damn! So extremely short range. And it's a charge, but when you hold down, it's a lightning gun. Hang on, let's pull this closer. Let's see what this looks like up front. Yeah, so I know that's not really easy to see, But that was a ludicrous amount of damage in an extremely short period of time. Like, you can see its health bar pop up and just go away. It also melts shields. Good God. I think armor's the only thing that withstood it at all. Ah, damn. I'll have to switch to that for my main assault rifle. And that's a shotgun, which makes sense. So then we'll try out the DOS. Yeah, I think that's actually it. Let's just get rid of this. I can do this to make this easier. Okay, so the anti-synthetic weapon. Back you go. Okay, that's kind of crazy. So it's a bit of a slow projectile, but other than that, it has almost no spread and a nice long clip size, too. Look at that. Almost no spread and almost no drift. But I think it's not actually hitting it. Yeah, it wasn't hitting it. So it's got limited range. And I take it back. It's not slow projectile. It's hit scan. See? So it literally just doesn't have the range to hit those. Interesting. So now I'll try the striker. Oh god. Okay, so that has huge drift. I have to fight it, and huge spread, and it's got a wind up. So yeah, this is a full auto shotgun is what this is. And finally, the Typhoon. I think you know how this is gonna go. What? There's no particle rifle. You lie to me. Alright, so, the particle rifle, before we talk about the Typhoon. This is the... Oh! Okay, that's a thing. Wow, that's... Oh my god, really? It's a heat gun! They brought back a cooldown gun! I don't think I've seen this gun before. Decent damage, too. But it's an option. Variety is good. Okay, so hang on. Back to the Typhoon for a second. So the Typhoon's an interesting combination of things here. So we've got a wind-up, and bad spread, and I have to fight it. But it also has a really large clip and is just hitting a giant spray of death in front of it. And if you keep it under control... Well... Can I even go into cover in here? It looks like I actually can't. Yeah, that armor is just... Nope. Look at that. But yeah, no, that's... We know what the Typhoon is. The Typhoon is why Garrus is killing everything. Now, there actually are other guns, but I only have so much money. I'm not made of money. In-game. In real life, I actually am made of money. It's very awkward. But some definite... honestly, this is a hell of a spread, so let me look something up. Let me look up some range here. Thankfully, we've actually already covered several FPSs by this point. No, I'd like to beat this game this week, Von Falkenstein. Oh, there it is. What I thought. Okay. We'll probably beat the game tomorrow. That's the most likely thing here. Probably Giga. I actually have read them. And no, I would not. Although I do think the Sherlock Holmes ending is very unsatisfying. How long is the Citadel? Like, you realize we have 4 missions to go that are not DLC, right? Like, we're almost done, if not for DLC. Are you actually going to tell me that the Citadel is going to be like 4 hours by itself? And even then, that still wouldn't be enough. No, we'll beat this game tomorrow. So, I posited a question to the crowd. Can any 2 hours? God, that's insane. Can anyone think of a game that you would think would be a triple positive for gun variety specifically? Probably an FPS. I've got a couple in my head, but I want some opinions from the crowd. Turok 2. Hopefully a game I've actually played.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Presidium Commons.
Commander, Admiral Anderson is available in the war room on VidCom.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's go get some negatives to story and gameplay, shall we? Oh, this is it. I don't mean to talk this up, but... So I heard you like negatives. I'm gonna laugh if this isn't as bad as I remember.
Thessia is under heavy Reaper attack. There's activity across most of the planet.
What about the temple? Can you raise the scientists?
Negative. All channels are scrambled across the spectrum. The mission's looking really dicey.
This is too important. It's now or never.
Shepard, that's my home down there. I have to go.
Okay.
Then get to the shuttle and let's do this.
Yeah, but the point is, that's still doing the Citadel before those missions, Tara. I mean, if you do the end of the game and then rewind to this one point, you're still doing them before that point of the game. But yes, as much as I hate to, we'll be bringing Javik and Liara for this one. Either way, that's when we're doing it. Right before the Cerberus base. Curious about something. Nah. I'm curious. Meh. I mean, nobody likes Javik, right?
Liara, do you have anything more on this artifact?
These coordinates the Counselor gave you are for the Temple of Athame. My mother took me there once. It's several thousand years old. And for some reason, it has classified government funding.
Sounds like we're on the right trail.
What if we're too late? My people are dying down there.
Your empathy is a weakness. You must numb yourself to loss.
Thessia took you to this temple?
I was just a child. I thought it was a history lesson, but now, maybe there was more to it.
What do you mean?
I went digging through her old files. She had heavily encrypted records on this place, some dating back centuries. I still can't crack most of them. Whatever's going on, it's well hidden.
I've studied your old mission reports. Your mother was indoctrinated.
Yes. We had to kill her.
Yet it did not stop you from fighting. As I said, steel yourself. Many more lives will be lost.
You know, rather than in between this, Evo, just show me your concept arts and I'll decide based on that.
We can't ignore that people are dying. The Reapers may not have mercy, but we do.
It is their indifference that gives them power.
Then let's show them there's another way.
This can't be happening. My home.
There's no time to mourn. We're exposed up here.
You must be Commander Shepard! Commander, we heard... The barrier's been breached! Commander, we'll talk later! Get on that gun up there and do some damage! Somebody better get on that gun! Enemy targets on the bridge!
Oh my god, really? Lack of time, Trihexia.
Enemy targets on the bridge! Hold them back! I want that gunship prepped and in the air! Plot that hole! We're on it! Someone get me a location on our snipers! Yes, ma'am! Commander, I'm Lieutenant Curran. We've been told to expect you. My orders are to hold this grid at all costs. Shore up the barrier! But our perimeter's collapsing, and I'm getting my people out of here.
This is important. We need your help.
Well, unless you can give me a good reason to stay, we're not dying for a field of rubble.
What exactly were you told about?
Nothing but your name. Mission details were classified, which just means we'll die without knowing why.
I know what that's like, but you have to trust the chain of command.
We're not even sure the chain still exists. So what are we doing here?
We're after a relic inside the temple. It's important.
That's what this is all about? One of our outposts has been trying to reach the scientists over there, but we lost contact. Get that gunship moving! Now! I'm sorry, Commander. If your relic has lasted this long, it can wait a little longer. I've lost enough people today. I'm pulling the rest of them out.
No!
You know, you really shouldn't force that on people.
A warrior's skill and cunning. They are strong in your genes. But you've grown tired of it. You're exhausted by defeat, and now you worry you don't have the courage left to go on.
By the goddess, are you...
Find your resolve. This war can end if you do.
It's okay, we have a magic I win button.
We're building a Prothean superweapon. It'll win this war.
I believe it. This is Lieutenant Curran. Hold your positions. I want a path carved to the temple. Outpost Tychus, we've got people coming your way. Let's make sure the galaxy knows the war was won on Thessia.
Yeah, this is point 2 for Javik actually being relevant. Enjoy that, it won't show up much more.
To see the city burning like this is...
It can be rebuilt. Just worry about the next 20 meters.
Actually, it doesn't really look all that bad. But anyways, sorry, write something down.
Watch it!
This has to end!
Draw straight from your anger. It will keep you alive.
Remember that, because here they come.
I mean, in fairness, if a McMuffin would save us, that would be highly amusing.
Push him back!
That was the last one.
Then move! Get off the bridge!
On that building! We've got fire support! No! Damn them!
Keep your focus, Liara.
Those things are slaughtering my people!
Liara, you realize that everybody is your people at this point, right? Like, I'm sorry. I actually want to know, legitimately, am I the only person bothered by the fact that Liara just goes full stupid this whole mission? You've had 2 games and 3 years of time to develop and harden and, you know, deal with crap. And yeah, Liara has been stupid the whole game, which has really been bothering me. It's actually kind of worse if you romance her. I'm just gonna spoil something for you. If you romance her, that romance still, as of this point, hasn't really affected anything other than 2 bits of dialogue. One on Mars and one on the ship. Like...
That door ahead looks like our way out of this mess.
Where is it? There it is.
Another mutated story.
Right away.
I mean, you're right, Sonoshi. No, you're absolutely right. There's a strong tendency of,
All right. Let's get moving before more of them come back.
I mean, even we aren't immune to that, given how much we whinge about Earth the entire game.
I still can't face those things. My own people.
When we fought the Reapers, they turned our own children against us.
I can't imagine that.
Liara.
Liara.
Did you?
What answer would you prefer?
None. Let's stop talking about this.
Hey, Liara. We've been fighting husks since the first game. Alright, moving on.
Above us!
My people had stopped the devils. They changed their minds when the Reapers arrived.
They say there's no devil, Jim. But I've seen him. I saw it.
Might be able to reach them.
Alright. I like that scene. Unlike, you know, this.
This is Specialist Kayla. Specialist Geneva was just killed by enemy fire. No sign of him yet.
Right here.
Wait, watch your head!
How long can you hold on?
Now that you're here, as long as it takes. Can you really win this war?
Not conventionally. Whip. There it is. Don't know why that didn't pop up properly. Hey, now we can show off the Widow at some point.
That's the last of them. Get moving, Commander.
Toward the Reaper. It's a way out of here. No choice. This nightmare never ends.
The hell it won't. We get to this artifact and we can all wake up.
We're really putting a lot on this artifact despite not knowing what it is or if it will help us. Then again, I guess we're doing the same thing with the Crucible, aren't we? Yeah, notice there's one Sovereign here instead of 4.
Watch it!
We're trying to reach Outpost Tychus.
You're looking at it.
What about the rest of your squad?
You're looking at it.
We tried punching through to the scientists, but I'm all that's left.
What about reinforcements?
We had gunships flying support, but things got too hot with that Reaper. They can't chance it.
I know it's rough, but I don't see another way in without their help.
Have I told you how much I hate this war? Talon Swarm, this is Outpost Tychus. Is anybody left on this frequency? We're in need of immediate air support. Commander Shepard is here.
Copy, this is Talon 1. I'm on the way. Talon 5 inbound.
Two gunships. In comms range.
Talon 1, watch the jamming! Target acquired. I'm hit! The stabilizer blew out!
Yeah, why haven't we been assisting this? Like, covering fire, assisting fire, something. Once again, and this is going to become a very common trend, by the way. I get what they're going for, I'm just not buying it. No comment.
Move! Now's our chance!
Watch out, more hostiles ahead.
Commander, more of the Jedi are attacking.
Bogey incoming. Hang tight while I shake him.
Interesting audio bug. Hi, Buster.
We need that pilot back.
Keep your head down and give it a run.
There she is. You're almost there, Commander. Keep it up. I'm in trouble. My shields just took damage. Talon 5 going down. Repeat, Talon 5.
Okay, is it sad that I feel more for Talon 5 than, like, this entire stupid planet?
We have to make it worth something.
This is so forced. Oh, man. This is just... And the worst part? It's about to get worse. Okay, so... No, I'm afraid I'm secretly a goldfish, Gum Gum. I have no memory. That's true. Talon 5 was legit. I mean, she showed up out of nowhere with one other support because we needed her. I do like the level up to this point, and that's important because I am going to go ahead and give a level design positive up to this point. Just a generic one, nothing fancy. Like, if you divorce yourself from the narrative, it's a fun level. I'm going to give 3 negatives so far to Thessia. For weird things, but hear me out for a second. A negative to visual storytelling for failing to sell the story of what's going on here. A negative to character for Liara, and a negative for the atmosphere, or lack thereof. It is very clearly trying too hard. Now, that's important that we divide that between what we've done and what we're about to do. So, Etch-a-Sketch, reset the board. Let's see what we think of this.
Looks like we're in the clear. Let's get inside.
The only thing I'm pretty sure about this is that this is going to be a gameplay negative, but we'll see.
Let me take a look. It's military-grade encryption. I think I can override it.
Do religion and military always mix among Asari?
No, this is unusual. Especially since few still follow the Athame doctrine.
Unfortunately, no, Melkor. And once again, I kind of get what they were going for here. I just don't buy it.
Something is wrong. Your scientists should be here.
Take a look around. Maybe one of these artifacts is what we're looking for. I'm guessing these are the scientists.
I didn't mean to skip that.
Their throats.
What happened to them?
They've been slit. The Reapers didn't do this. We're going to have to figure this out on our own.
Who's that supposed to be?
The goddess Athame herself. It's a relic of the old faith.
Then why does Athame speak Prothean?
What do you mean?
There is something here. I can sense it.
In this temple? I admit it is strange this place has been so well preserved. Though Athame does have great historical significance, we once believed our gods were separate from the world, looking down on us. There is a universal energy.
There's a Prothean beacon here.
What? You're sure?
It's not something you forget.
But why hide it?
The answer is obvious. Power and influence. Your people are holding the knowledge of my race for their own gain.
That can't be. I can't believe my people would keep this a secret.
A beacon like this could explain why Asari are so advanced.
This temple is thousands of years old. Time enough to make serious progress.
That doesn't make it true.
Even a small amount of data would give your species an edge. Or are you insulted that your government didn't involve you?
Yeah, honestly, I'm sorry, Liara. Why would your people not do this? Even, hang on. Let's remove Mass Effect 3 from existence for a second. Now, even in 1 and 2, it's made very clear in the world building and backdrop that the Asari are dominant. It's kind of their shtick, is that they're dominant. And they dominate through diplomacy, through infiltration, and through connections. But they are still definitely the 101 of the galactic politics, and have been. Now, you could say Liara's a kid. I don't think that's an acceptable excuse, but substantially more important is the fact that she's the Shadow Broker. She has been perusing the information broker network for about 2.5 years. You cannot tell me that in all that time, she has never come across the fact that the Asari are doing what they're doing. But I'm letting it go.
The Mars ruins are where humanity got Mass Effect technology.
And we learned of it from the ruins of the Inusanum, the race that came before us. It was our secret for centuries.
Well, if it is true, the Asari should have shared this knowledge. We might not have been in this mess if they had.
You don't know that, Shepard. We don't know what's going on here.
Liara,
I know we don't have much time to find out.
Trying to let it go.
The few records I can access talk about tapping into Prothean data streams, reconstructing matrices, none of which I see here.
I do. The activation process has begun.
By the goddess. Literally.
Look around. There must be more of these connections.
Incredible. The beacon seems to think you're Prothean, Shepard. It must be the cipher you got back on Pharaohs years ago.
Or it could be the Prothean standing next to you.
You know. Alright, could you stop giving me those pop-ups?
There have to be more connections nearby.
It's gaining power.
I'm sorry, I know I'm coming across as harsh to Liara, but the problem is, if you haven't been here the whole time, she has been bad this entire time. Like, she has consistently been aggravating this entire time. It's been really frustrating. Let's just turn all this stuff off here. Not like I need any of this. There we go. Let's get rid of all of that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, to the point of character assassination. Or character regression is a much better way to put that. She has been dumb this whole game. And that's why I'm being harsh on her.
Doesn't look like a connection.
The end of the war is near. Find what we need, finish the Crucible, and vengeance is complete.
I can't believe this whole temple is a front.
Best place to hide a secret is out in the open.
They've been extracting data from it for centuries. I never knew.
Let's hope it doesn't take us.
Wow. If you never put this together, you are a terrible shadow broker.
No connection here.
Remember, she's been a shadow broker for a bare minimum of 6 months. Although, based on what Tali said earlier, it's actually probably been closer to 9 at this point.
There has to be another one around here. I'd say that one counts.
It's still not complete. This confirms the Asari owe your superiority to my people.
And you owe the Mass Effect relays to the Reapers. How did that turn out?
So you do bite. Good. We'll need that.
Sorry about ruining your thing.
The activation is complete. We can access the beacon now.
Question. How do the Asari access this beacon without destroying their statue each time?
We need to hurry. This place isn't going to... last very long.
Obtaining chronological marker. Hold. Timescale established. Post-Prothean cycle confirmed.
One of our computers.
Reaper presence detected. This galactic cycle has already reached its extinction terminus. Systems shutting down.
Hold on.
We need answers.
To what question?
The catalyst. We need to know what it is to finish the Crucible.
A memory of one of my people.
I am called Vendetta, an advanced virtual construct of Patrick Van, overseer of the project you refer to as Crucible. He died fighting the Reapers in the Battle of Tranvia 9. Your remaining time is also at an end.
Were all Protheans so grim?
I mean...
What happened to the Crucible in your time? Why didn't the Protheans deploy it?
We were sabotaged from within. A splinter group argued we should dominate the Reapers rather than destroy them. It fractured our order of battle. Later, we discovered the Separatists were indoctrinated.
I always suspected as much.
And now we're facing the same problem.
Our studies of past ages led us to believe that time is cyclical. Many patterns repeat.
Like the Reaper attacks.
And beyond, the same peaks of evolution, the same valleys of dissolution. The same conflicts are expressed in every cycle, but in a different manner. The repetition is too prevalent to be merely chance.
We assumed the Reapers were responsible for the pattern.
Perhaps, though I believe the Reapers are only servants of the pattern. They are not its master.
So who is the master?
Casper.
Its presence is inferred rather than observed. The only certainty is its intention. Galactic annihilation. You now stand at that precipice.
There's still hope for this cycle. We need to know what the catalyst is. Trillions of lives are at risk.
Trillions of lives are always at risk. But if the Reapers have arrived to end your cycle, this discussion is too late.
We can break the cycle. We found your plans for the Crucible. We're building it right now.
The Crucible is not of Prothean design. It is the work of countless galactic cycles stretching back millions of years. Each cycle adds to it. Each improves upon it. Thus far, none have successfully defeated the Reapers with it.
I know I'm kind of nitpicking here, but the very idea of a super weapon that each generation builds and adds onto actually makes even less sense than the fact that the Protheans built a colossal super weapon. Like, that just... What? So, those of you who've watched my old stuff, you know that there was an idea I kept tossing around and kicking around. Because when I was playing this game for the first time, I automatically assumed... I know, Croatia, I know. I automatically assumed this entire time, this is a trap. Too many pieces did not make sense. Too many things didn't line up. The Crucible was a trap. It was just such an automatic duh thing that I thought the game was building up to that. The only thing that irritated me was that everyone was falling for the trap. Spoilers, it's not a trap. We're supposed to take all of this at face value. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, but lore, Why would they write things this way if they knew where it was ending? Remember, they hadn't decided what the Crucible was, timeline-wise, when they were writing these scenes. A small group, not the whole writing team, but a small group wrote the intro and the outro, and they did so in a vacuum. And we know this. This is part of codified record at this point. So the reason they keep kind of hanging around, and the direct answer to Croatia's question, is because the writers literally didn't know the answer to the questions being asked.
Then we'll be the first. Tell us what the catalyst is.
Listen to the human. He can be trusted.
I detect you are one of us. You are Prothean.
The last.
Enjoy pizza.
I am the final hope to avenge our people.
Your mission was known to me. Do you believe this present cycle can deliver retribution?
They have earned the right to try.
Tell us what we need to know.
Very well. If you have followed the plans for the Crucible, I will interface with your systems and assist with the catalyst too. Indoctrinated presence detected. Activating security protocol.
Hello, Kai Lang. Exactly, Space Cadet. Exactly.
You killed the scientists. What do you want?
Your attention. Someone would like to talk with you.
Shepard.
Hello, Tom.
How did you find this place?
The archives. Or did your shadow broker miss that one?
Show yourself. I promise I won't miss.
Stick to your talents, Dr. Dasani. You've helped uncover the key to subjugating the Reapers.
Or destroying them.
Damn it, Shepard. Destroying the Reapers gains us nothing.
How about peace?
How about survival?
Think about it. If they wanted all organic life destroyed, they could do it. There would be nothing left.
What the hell are you talking about?
I know them, Shepard. I know how they think.
I think you've gotten a little too close to the enemy.
No. I'm saying they've got it right. Why kill when you can control?
You've been spending too much time with the enemy. They're dragging you over to their side. Their way of thinking.
No, I just see things differently.
If you truly care about humanity, you'll stop fighting me. You'll join me.
Don't ever question my intentions. I've sacrificed more for humanity than you'll ever know. And don't assume you know me. My methods for dealing with the Reapers are simply more refined than yours.
You've forgotten everything you stood for. Cerberus was supposed to be humanity's sword, not a dagger in our back.
Poetic, but as usual, you miss the point. The world is more gray than you care to admit.
With the Prothean data in this beacon, I can end this conflict, once and for all. You're either with me or against me. There's nothing gray about that.
No, I suppose there isn't. Leng, the commander has something I need. Please relieve him of it. And then bring me the data.
Understood.
Okay.
I've been hit! Cover me while I recharge!
So then this happens.
Get to cover!
I'm just gonna spoil this for you. There's nothing you can do about that gunship. In fact, they even try to make sure you can't even aim at the damn thing.
I need to recharge! Cover me!
And I'm just gonna spoil this too. If you just stay out, Kai Lang is actually invincible. Just straight up invincible. And if you actually manage to stay out and keep shooting him, the fight will not progress until his health has refilled. So you're actually delaying the fight and delaying the invuln phase by fighting the boss. Now, if you know me, you know we've judged a lot of boss fights over the years. And one of the things I tend to point at as a regular recurring problem is boss invulnerability phases. This is one of the worst boss invuln phases I've ever seen. Because it doesn't look, feel, or is structured like an invuln phase. But if you decide to keep fighting it, will elongate it. The best possible thing to do here is to literally just wait. Forgive me the ire in my voice, but this actually pisses me off more than a lot of the narrative stuff we just saw. Because this fight is stupid.
It's a pity the good ones never last. There's only one way this ends.
And then he goes into a cutscene where he just crushes us like a bug.
Target the supports.
I forget if I did it during the lore run, but I know one of the times I played this game, I just sat there and unloaded into him. Just absolutely went after him. And delayed the fight.
Cerberus thanks you for all your hard work.
Cool. Yeah, I remind you, Thane, who was literally a day from death, owned this guy's ass. What kind of pizza you get, Buster? Supposed to lose fights are hard to do, and I've acknowledged that before. There's an artistry to it, and it takes some time and it takes some thought. But this, and I mean this with total sincerity, no hyperbole, no yelling, this is, if not one of the worst supposed to lose fights I have ever seen in 37 years of video games. This is terrible.
Shepard! Hang on!
No, this is worse than Ranjit, from a gameplay perspective. Ranjit was longer and more boring, but this is worse in terms of design. And, just to punch you in the balls after you just lost. Remember Curran? The one we convinced to stay? Okay, credit where credit is due. This exact moment is effective. Just us sitting there waiting before we hit the comm.
Commander Shepard, are you there? Commander!
Counselor. The mission.
Contact with Thessia has been cut off. When will the Crucible be ready to use?
Counselor. I wish the news was better. We didn't get the information.
Why not?
Cerberus was there. We were defeated. We don't know how to finish the Crucible.
I don't know what to say. What was the situation on Thessia?
Deteriorating fast. The Reapers are there in strength.
Then I should be going. Plans must be put in motion. Continuity of civilization has to be considered. I never imagined this day would come.
None of us did. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm actually going to give that a positive. That was almost perfect.
Asari forces are in full retreat. It is no longer safe for us to remain in this system.
Get us out of here.
Shepard.
Frankly, her morning is better than Liara's morning we're about to see.
Nobody could have predicted Cerberus would reach Thessia before us.
Like really process. It's a lot about presentation, but that was a very well presented team. Us waiting, not sure to pick up the beacon, finally pick up the thing. The tone of the woman, the acting involved, just a little bit of shock, and that kind of dull note of I have to maintain. I have to think about the continuity of civilization. That's actually a good line. So, I will give a plus for that scene. It's a powerful scene. It doesn't work at all, and it's going to be buried by negatives. But that's how the system works. A good scene with bad support is still a good scene. I mean, even Mir was knocking it out of the park there with just not sure how to process that whole thing. Thank you, Gold Tech. Much appreciate as always. I will put that towards Age of Mythology. At some point, we'll have to decide if it's the remaster or the original, since we're going that way now. We'll figure that out at some point. All right. Let's talk negatives. God, where do I even begin with this? All right, so you know, another thing that irritates me about the scene we just saw? Did you see how Kai Lang effortlessly just tosses Javik and Liara aside? In a lot of video games, excuse me, in a lot of video games, that's because you can choose your party members, and they can't predict who you bring, and so the extra work and time spent designing a cutscene around all the different permutations of characters is something most games don't do. Thing is, if you're remembering, Liara is a mandatory party member for that mission, so they know Liara's there. So that doesn't apply. They don't get that little get out of jail clause. Yeah, Javik has more lines than Liara in that sequence, which is just... What? And again, we know Liara's there. Help me out. I'm trying to think what category this falls under, because there's just an overwhelming effort to make it feel like, you know, there's no hope, and we just got absolutely crushed. There was no way we could beat one gunship and one guy with a sword. Oh my god, Django's right. I was just wondering why the Normandy wasn't involved, but then I realized Joker's up there being like, yep, there's Kai Lang with a gunship. Uh-huh. Too bad I'm too busy to head down there and help. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what a badass moment would be qualified as, because this is the opposite of that, or I guess the inverse of that. This is a failure at a badass moment. You know, like an establishing moment. This is effectively the first time we've really established Kai Lang as a character, which is funny, because it's only the third time he's shown up ever, if we count the preview of his arm at the beginning of the game. Yeah, Joker. Yeah, hey, Javik, how'd you handle gunships in your cycle? A suck-ass moment. Ah! Gross. Hang on. I mean, this is a form of warfing. Let's put this... badassfully. Oh, sorry. Unbadassfully. Let's just... so I've got kind of a generic category of writing. This covers so many things. Let's just put this under writing. Because, I mean, I know that's kind of the catch-all, but good lord. It's actually about to get worse, too, but give me a minute. Oh, that's a separate negative, Mike Romano. You think I'm done? See, the problem, Lord Harriman, you mentioned this earlier, and I do agree. I absolutely agree. A theory I've had for a while now. Hang on, because I'm going to be typing for a minute. A theory I've had for a while now is that the writers of Mass Effect 3 didn't know they were writing for a video game. And I know that sounds like a strange sentence, but what I mean by that is video games require different writing because they're interactive. It's not often, but there are specific types of moments or scenes. There's functions of story structure. There's functions of narrative flow that are different in a game than there would be if you're just sitting back and watching something, right? And I do legitimately think the writers of 3 forgot they were writing for a video game. But I'm going to disagree with you on this, Lord Harriman, because it is my opinion. It's okay, Liara. It's okay. In my opinion, that sequence we just saw, even if it was completely non-interactive, still doesn't work. Especially if you were to zoom out the camera and look at all of Mass Effect 3, even just Mass Effect 3 up to this point. Everything we've seen so far about these characters, what they can do, how they operate, the nature of the world they live in, Kai Lang being bodied by Thane, who was on the verge of death, Shepard, the total badass, Liara, the capable and competent. I mean, look at what Liara did in the Lair of the Shadowburger, for God's sakes. And that's ignoring the tonal approach of this whole thing. So, I don't think this works even purely narratively, my opinion. So that's the story negatives. Let me update the HUD. So story positive-wise, really need to clean this list up at some point. We're up to. We've actually got quite a few story positives. Up to there. And we're down to here. Gameplay-wise, hang on. We're up here because gameplay. Unfortunately, I'm about to give quite a few negatives. Because I stand by what I said. That's one of the actively worst designed boss fights I've ever seen. It's probably not the worst boss fight I've ever seen, because I've seen some bad video games in my life, but that is a terrible boss fight. I think I've already explained my reasons why. 3 negatives for the Kai Lang fight. Just right up front. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Okay.
It's my job to be prepared, no matter what. And now Thessia's lost. as is the data on the catalyst.
In one day.
I'm sick of Cerberus beating us to the punch.
Let's kick them in the balls first for a change.
I'm with James. Anyone know where they're hiding? Anyone?
Commander,
Tell me you've got something, Edie.
Specialist Trainer was able to track Kai Lang's shuttle through the relay and extrapolate its
Then why didn't she say that?
Unfortunately, the signal disappears in the Yara system.
Of course it does.
However, the signal is being actively blocked.
What?
The Yara system is home to Sanctuary and little else. Sanctuary is a
yes.
for war refugees.
Sanctuary.
And something at that location is actively blocking all signals coming from that region of space. If Specialist Trainer hadn't examined the data so astutely, the interference would have been undetectable.
Trainer, Edie, nice work. Now let's not let this opportunity get away from us.
I was stationed on Horizon in the Lyra system, and you were the only Cerberus presence while I was there.
It's a slim lead. Let's hope it's the right one.
I don't care how slim the leads are at this point. We've come too far to let Cerberus stop us. I want that Prothean data. I want the catalyst. No excuses. Dismissed.
I'm not sure if Sanctuary will be a plus or a negative. I'm really not sure.
Commander, Admiral Anderson is available on VidCom.
But it's the most horrifying thing in the entire franchise. Or, excuse me, the most evil thing in the whole franchise for me. So, we'll see. Yeah, they've also been mentioning Sanctuary since pretty much the very beginning. Sorry, I'm just kind of double checking where everyone is really quick. Okay. Hang on, let me go do some padding really quick.
Not after we took down that Reaper on Rannock. I don't know. Yeah, but there's no way we could have stopped every Reaper on Thessia. The Asari should have jumped in earlier.
I mean, that is true.
Cerberus is gonna have a hard time recruiting now.
No, they're not.
So Thessia, huh? I guess the Asari are wishing they had fewer dancers and more commandos right about now. Too soon?
In case you hadn't noticed, we just lost a few million people. This isn't the time.
You see this? Tiptree. Little colony out in the ass end of nowhere.
I like this.
My dad lives there. So does my sister. Reapers rolled in about 2 weeks ago. So you can assume that I'm generally aware there's a war on, Commander.
So why the jokes?
Really?
Because Edie says that according to your armor's metabolic scans, you're under more stress now than during the Skillian Blitz. Like more than Elysium, where it was pretty much you versus 10,000 Batarians trying to kill you. And the last time I had a briefing with Anderson, he told me to take care of you. The guy leading the resistance on Earth is worried about you, and I'm supposed to help.
I appreciate the thought, Joker, but I'm fine.
The hell you are. You're like half robot at this point. No offense, Edie. And it's my fault. When the Collectors blew up the first Normandy, you died because I wouldn't leave. Because you had to come back for me.
Couldn't leave the best pilot in the fleet behind, could I?
Yeah, well, I guess that would have looked bad on your report.
Come on. We've got work to do.
That scene should be better than it is. I don't actually think I'm going to give that scene a positive. I think I'm just going to kind of bake that into the Joker positives that we're going to be giving. Joker continues to be a bright spot in every one of these games. But yeah, our tone was literally wrong there.
Shepard, I have a question about human behavior.
This isn't the best time, Edie.
Perhaps humor? A penguin is driving through the Arizona desert.
I'm not in the mood.
A lively rendition of La Marseillaise?
No.
Very well. I will maintain a respectful silence until you indicate otherwise.
You know, I was thinking to myself when I first played this game, and when I second played this game, why it irritates me so much that Shepard is so grumpy here. Because, logically, he should be. Ignoring the fact that, you know, we lost a planet, doesn't matter which one, and ignoring the fact that this is one of our first major losses in the conflict, well, all of that makes sense. All of that lines up. So I was trying to figure out why this bothers me, and it's twofold. The first reason why this bothers me is because it doesn't feel like it's actually earned. Thessia was crap. I knew that the first time I played this game, that Thessia was crap. And so, it's like, it's one of those situations, and we only really see this in fiction, where something happens, and then everyone reacts to it genuinely, and you're like, but it was crap. But it was crap! And it's just, it's this disconnect. It's this narrative disconnect of me being like, but I, the person, don't care because you did it wrong. I mean, I do agree, Loke, and the creators are absolutely going to try and kick us in the ball several more times. And that, sorry, thank you, Evo, for completing my sentence for me, because I lost train of thought there. That's the other reason it bothers me. This should kind of be my choice. That's my character.
Commander, Cerberus has attacked a comm facility on Ontaron.
Which we will not be doing. But thank you, Trainer. Alright, so... let's go talk to some people.
Shepard, this wasn't your fault.
It's not about fault. I was supposed to stop them.
You will.
I don't know if I can do this, Tali. Earth, Paladin, Thessia. I'm risking everything to build the Crucible, and I'm not even sure what it does. Who am I to make that?
Thank you for acknowledging that.
You're the one who was right, all along. You fought when no one else would, when nobody else believed you. You can do this. I know you can.
And the other thing, if I might be so bold, you're probably thinking, you know, lore, so you would choose to put on a brave voice. No, my Shepard, Zaydenra Shepard, would burst into tears on Joker's shoulder. Now you're probably thinking, that's the... Think about this for a second. The whole point of that is that Joker is reaching out to us and is being Joker. And of all of our crew, the one person, I know this is going to sound strange, but the one person we're allowed to lower the shields a little bit is Joker. Not our squad mates who have to fight in combat with us. Not the people we deal with on a regular basis or in the military or diplomacy corps or whatever. Not all the people who have to see Commander Shepard. But Joker, who's been with us since the very beginning. And who is very human. I don't mean literal. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. He's very person. And this should be someone that we should be able, that we should have the choice to lower the shields a bit on and just let it out for a minute. And I can picture the scene in my head. We just sob and Joker's like, not saying anything. No jokes. No nothing. He's just holding us as we cry. And then finally we get up and then he cracks a joke, probably about having broken a shoulder doing that. And that's when he says something along the lines of, "Are you okay?" And the answer is, no. And Joker says, "Yep. Let me know where we're going next, Commander." And then swivels back. That is what I wanted from that scene. That's why I say that could have been a very powerful scene. Wasn't. Let's go talk to Garrus, shall we? Or, yep, I like that. Me neither, Commander. Me neither. Yeah, Mass Effect rewrite. Problem is, a Mass Effect rewrite would, by definition, have to involve choices being made. But I don't know. I've been kicking around the idea of doing a Mass Effect rewrite after we finish the Diablo rewrite, obviously.
Shepard, never a dull moment when the Normandy's on tour, is there?
Any word from Palaven?
Some, and I don't like what I'm hearing. The Krogan are there in force, but they're just slowing the Reapers down, not stopping them. I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
You hear anything from your family?
But I did hear from Primarch Victus. He wanted my advice on fleet strength when the Crucible is ready. Still can't get used to people asking me things like that.
What did you say?
I said, at some point, we're going to have to decide if our fleets keep defending Palaven or we go on the offensive.
Can't do both?
No.
Not with the beating we're taking. Like I said, not the sort of questions I'm used to answering.
You know what you're doing, Garrus. Trust me, everyone can see that.
Maybe. But you spend so much time on the outside trying to get in, and when you do, it's not what I expected.
How so?
All the questions, and every one of them with a million lives riding on the answer.
You do the best you can with what you know. It's no different than your days at CSEC.
You're right. Though I'm starting to understand why the galaxy needs cold-hearted dictators every now and then.
They get things done?
They don't give a damn about the consequences. Suppose that's what it's going to take, Shepard. The ruthless calculus of war. 10 billion people over here die, so 20 billion over there can live. Are we up for that?
Old calculus. I've basically borrowed that term from this game and have used it for the last 10 years. Because it's such a wonderfully chilling way to describe this mentality. As I've said many, many times, at a certain point, it's not about morality, it's just math.
If we reduce this war to arithmetic, we're no better than Reapers.
I guess I can't argue with that. You managed peace between the Geth and the Quarians. Maybe there is another way.
Yeah, exactly, Boster. It's a shame. I hate to, once again, complain about missed potential, but the Reaper invasion has a lot of potential for being extremely screwed up by virtue of not really being a functional war. Because, let's be blunt, this isn't a war. This is annihilation. This is not any kind of typical, normal interaction between two nations or two powers. Yeah, this is an extinction scenario. The rules are applying differently here, or at least they should.
Dr. Tassoni has gone to speak with the Prothean.
Oh, right, she's down. Yeah, I knew that.
Gabby, what do you think about our new yeoman, Miss Trina?
She's not a yeoman, she's a communication specialist. And you're barking up the wrong tree, Kenneth. You're not her type.
Oh, well, perhaps you should go and talk to her then.
Maybe I should. Nobody's barking up my tree.
If it works out, be sure to take video.
Commander,
We were just talking to Liara.
she's a strong one.
I'd say her world's just been completely rocked.
Completely. Adams and I were just remembering Noveria and the terrible way her mother died.
Liara seemed so together afterward. Couldn't have been easy.
For weeks, she told me stories about her mother.
Yeah, me too. I have a feeling she'll be okay.
Yeah. Hope so.
I love Stellaris unabashedly. Stellaris is an amazing game. But, I mean, we're very close to Thanksgiving. There's probably going to be a sale. Good time to wait, right? Like, right now is a fantastic time to wait.
That's not true! We earned our place in the galaxy!
Stop denying reality, Asari.
What's with the video?
Knowledge of my people from the beacon.
I have a name. It's Liara Tassoni, and I'd appreciate you—
Hey, settle down!
My home was just destroyed, and all he can do is gloat!
Liara, you may not like the truth, but you can't blame him for it.
Besides, there's nothing to be done about it now.
You're Prothean. You're supposed to have all the answers. You should have stopped this.
We believed you would. Long ago, we saw the potential in your people. Even then, it was obvious. The wisdom, the patience. You were the best hope for this cycle. So you were guided when necessary.
Well, it didn't work.
You're still alive, aren't you? Your world may have fallen, but as long as even one Asari is left standing, the fight isn't over.
I guess that goes for Protheans, too.
Despair is the enemy's greatest weapon. Do not let them wield it. Liara T'Soni.
Did you mean any of that?
She believes it, so she will keep fighting. Isn't that what matters most, Commander?
Carry on.
Yeah. He has actually lied twice now. For good intent. And that's one of the reasons I do like Javik, despite everything else.
I've always loved the M35 Mako. It's got heart, you know?
Oh, come on. The M44 Hammerhead is vastly superior.
Come on, that thing's made of tissue paper. At least the Mako can take a few hits.
I'd hope so. That thing handles like a drunk rhino. No agility whatsoever.
More like a bull that can climb and climb for days.
It only climbs because of its stupid, vertically aligned Mass Effect fields. Jump or stick. No speed. No lateral movement.
Hey, with a cannon like that, who needs to move?
If you want that, why don't you just stick with the old M29 Grizzly?
Hey, I love that tank.
You would be one to love grizzly bears, Mr. Vega.
What? What's so funny?
Doesn't hurt to go over the weapon roster one more time.
Hey, for what it's worth, I know how it feels to lose like that. I know that doesn't make it easier, but you're just human like the rest of us.
If you're trying to make me feel better, it's not working, Lieutenant.
Hey, everyone on this ship knows you did all you could. You need to cut yourself some slack. Whatever it takes to get that data back from Cerberus. We're behind you. Whatever it takes to end this.
Noted.
She went straight to her cabin. She's not answering her comm.
How bad?
I've never seen Liara like this. Not even after Noveria.
Damn.
Can you talk to her? You've known her as long as any of us. And with Palaven...
I'm just another damn reminder of how many people are dying. You should talk to her.
I just regained my homeworld. She just lost hers.
Well, I don't have any magic words. She needs time. Maybe call her later.
She went straight to her cabin.
I'll go talk to Liara.
Thanks, Shepard.
I don't mean to sound negative again, but I was hoping this would be a good scene to support Liara as her one true love when I was playing as Zaydenra. Spoilers. Nope.
I've studied Protheans my entire life. If I'd been shown the beacon on Thessia earlier...
You would have needed Shepard's cipher to comprehend it.
I still could have learned from it. Instead, my mother hid the galaxy's most important archaeological find from me. It must have been such a joke to her when I became a Prothean researcher.
The penalties for withholding Prothean technology are among the harshest in Council space. Your mother's motives may have been simply to shield you.
Perhaps. Thank you, Edie. I hadn't considered that. How did this happen, Shepard? My entire civilization. The Asari's history. The Protheans made it a lie all along, and I abandoned my people to hunt for the catalyst.
Liara, you had nothing to do with the attack on Thessia.
Nothing to do with it? I told those people on Thessia we'd save them. How many Asari died because I demanded their help?
None.
Shepard, that isn't true.
You've been warning your people for 4 years, Liara. There's not a damn thing you should feel guilty about. If we move fast enough, they'll have a chance to survive this. To start again. We lost Thessia, but we haven't lost the Asari yet.
Helping the refugees. That's something I can do. It's something I owe them.
I knew you'd think of something.
I still need some time, Shepard. But thank you.
A new notification is available on the private messages terminal.
Okay. No hug. No support. No nothing. From Asari Military Command. Hang on, let me get my best edgelord going on here. Good. You opened this message. This isn't actually Asari Military Command. They're busy tending to what's left of their planet. She survived our fight on Thessia. You're not as weak as I thought, but never forget that your best wasn't good enough to stop me. Now an entire planet's dying because you lacked the strength to win. The legend of Shepard needs to be rewritten. I hope I'm there for the last chapter. It ends with your death. Why would you apologize for liking something, Lord Harriman? I'm gonna take this potato chip and eat it! God, he's just... Oh, it's terrible. It's so terrible. Yeah, I think we'll do an early lunch and an early return. Because, yeah, it's Sanctuary and then Leviathan and, yeah, so... let's go ahead and head over here, get this cutscene out of the way. I mean, if everybody agreed with me, what would be the point, Lord Harriman? We'll probably beat Mass Effect 3 tomorrow. I doubt we'll beat Mass Effect 3 today. I really, really doubt it. Even if the DLC didn't exist, some of the upcoming cutscenes are long. So, I'll be back in about an hour.